Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You know what night it is. It's in the stream title itself, but I would say my most exciting stream of the year. It's draft night, baby. You know where it's at. Welcome, one and all, to all returning and new draft players. We're going to get things kicked off in just a moment, but first of all, joining me tonight is going to be none other than the legendary Salt Spreader and also your color caster for LRS Draft. How are you doing tonight, Salt?
Pretty great. I'm expecting some great things out of these players. I know a few of them, played with a lot of them, and I'm expecting a very, very fun draft coming up this season. And tonight we are starting off with the LRS, and a little bit different than usual, usually going with the LAS first. But tonight we're doing it a little bit different, ever since our little bit of a facelift. So let's get things rolling and see if players are ready to go. But it's going to be a good one.
Before we do get going, just a couple things to cover before we get in there. We'll take a peek at the actual draft table because, like you said, we are starting with the LRS, and we're going to take a brief break while we get set up for LAS, and then we'll hop into the LAS. But let's take a peek at the draft table, and then, of course, take a look at some of the captains that are going to be here for LRS before we get going, and then we'll give them the green light and say, yes, let's start drafting. But let's go ahead, take a peek at how this draft format is going to go. You can see, going to be the first pick coming in today. We'll start it off with Dragons, and in this order, it'll be Spartans, Outlaws, Wizards, Guardians, and Phantoms. So you can see that order, round 1, 2, 3, and 4 there for our 6 teams in the LRS draft. But we got 6 teams, which means we got 6 captains, Salt, and let's go ahead and take a peek at some of these lovely, lovely players who have stepped up to the plate to be these wonderful leaders across our Legends community. So starting off with that Dragons team is going to be none other than the legendary Metro. Going to be his third split with the with Legends here, and like his little quote that he gave us there.
Yep. Metro diff better than Dallas diff. You gotta love Dallas though too. Third split with Legends, so he's been playing with us for quite a bit of time. But this is the first time that since I've been here that Juanito Sol is not the captain of the Dragons. So this is very, very interesting to see. But let's hope Metro Dragneel can live up to the hype of the Dragons, and I definitely think he is going to be able to do it. Played against him last split. Definitely a great player. Got to watch out for him. But we'll see how things roll, and we might be able to move on to the Spartans.
Yeah, we got the Spartans captain coming up next as well, too. Going to be Pratoga, a Legends veteran who's been around with us for quite some time. Back on the Spartans again as the captain. And he says he's a Yumi one trick, but I think his little champion splash shot we've got in there says differently.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit, but Yumi one tricks are something to be reckoned with. Fence from EU. That guy's crazy on the Yumi, and Pratoga's probably no slouch either. But all those champs which have great engage, I've seen Pratoga just play super, super well on. So I'm very excited to see what Pratoga has in store and who he's going to draft. We'll see if he leans towards that AD pick or if he moves towards something else.
Yep. And coming up next with our third team in the draft, going to be the Outlaws. And this one's got a special place in my heart because this was my team moving on up and being led by their returning captain, iMako, or as most of you know him around the community, Mako. Absolutely cracked mid laner here is stepping up into the LRS from the LAS after 2 previous splits, but this will mean it's his 3rd time here with us, and that Outlaw squad coming in this past summer, taking home the championship. Yeehaw to the Outlaws.
I mean, they were the ones who took me down last split, and Mako was definitely a big part of that. Great mid laner, also helped me grab that little chip there on PvE as well. So you gotta be scared of Mako. His mid lane champs, his Echo, probably like a 90% ban rate at this point in like all of Legends so far. So be wary of this guy's picks. He's always willing to bring out some weird stuff. So always, always, always be wary.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the next captain up for you just in a second. Do some limit testing here with a few things. Oh, it works though. That's so lovely. Next captain coming up will be for the Wizards. Sergeant Hades, also going to be in the mid lane there. It's their 2nd split with us here at Legends, and this past summer, not only were they the All-Star, the MVP, but they were also the Rookie of the split. So, huge player coming in here for the Wizards.
Zoe permaban question mark? Yeah, I think that's the main thing we have to say about Sergeant Hades, that Zoe was just never allowed to be played even once throughout the entirety of that split there. Rookie of the split, definitely incredibly deserved. The All-Star MVP, everything that Sergeant Hades performed on was crazy this entire split. So coming into this one as a captain. I'm super excited to see how he plays coming up and who he drafts as well. I think I would opt towards the jungle role there. Mid jungle synergy, very important in this meta, but we'll see where he does throw his dice this time.
Well, let's see. Our 5th captain coming in, going to be MG Rosalina. So, going to be the Guardians captain, as I said, their first split with Legends. So, welcome on in, Rosalina. And then their quote was, "If you look for the light, you can often find it. But if you look for the dark, that's all you'll ever see." And it does ring a bell. I just can't put my finger on where that quote came from, but quite a lovely one. And no, first time we get to see this player coming in to the draft league, so going to be always exciting to see some fresh faces around the draft.
Guardians curse ? We'll see if Rosalina is able to bring it here. Guardians do have a little bit of a track record of not having the greatest of times, but maybe this will be the curse breaker. Phantom's curse was definitely broken last time. Maybe it's time for the Guardians to step up.
We'll see. We'll see with them switching into the LRS, but that is a fantastic transition, Salt, because our final team for LRS is going to be none other than the Phantoms themselves, with Toadstep as the helm, as their captain. Their second split with Legends, and you could see there, killed the Phantom's curse last season. I remember making their player card last split, was they were not afraid of the Phantom's curse, and they made sure to get that team into playoffs last split, which the curse had been around for over a year and a half at that point. So really awesome stuff, and great to have Toadstep back with us.
Definitely great to see a return of Toadstep. Had some great times casting that, watching that, streaming that. And, breaking the Phantom's curse, that's always something. That's always big, Being able to break a big record behind you, even if, you are newer, it's going to be crazy. Just because you have that pressure on you to try and break that curse. It's all on you and your teammates, and they stepped up. That's all I can say. And, I'm very excited with how things are rolling. 6 teams, a little bit of a smaller pool this time, but we'll see if they are able to make it work. Who is going to make it to playoffs? Who is going to break these curses? Who is going to fall? Who is going to stand? That's what we'll see this split.
All right, well, with that, I do believe we are ready to get this show on the road, baby. So, going to send off the ready check to our lovely Dallas, who's going to check in with our captains. He's currently in call with them right now. So we're going to get those picks coming through right now. So let's flip it back on over to the draft table and start seeing what and who is going to be drafted here. So starting up, it's Metro's pick, and we're going to see who gets drafted first overall in the LRS draft. That's always an exciting name to see, is who is coming up first. Oh my. I think we might have our first one. So let me just confirm that is the name. I'm also going to just do a couple little editing behind the scenes before we get before we do get that going, because there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. So let's get that name in here as well, which is, oh, that's lovely that it just fits in just like that. So going first overall in the LRS draft is going to be none other then Quintic, headed off to the Dragons.
And over to the Dragons, a great support pick coming through. A very deep champion pool that I'm very excited to see. Has the reins on those enchanters as well as those hard engaged champs like the Alistar, like the Rakan. Super excited to see how things go. And he was once called a really nice guy by Shifter. That's pretty cool. Shifter's a cool guy, and being called nice is definitely something you want to do, That's definitely a compliment coming from most League players. Most people would just call you trash. So being called nice, that's really, really great.
We're just going to get ready for our next pick here. But yeah, nice to see Quintic coming in, Coach Quintic, as our first pick here in the LRS draft. So flip it on back to the table and see who's coming next. But yeah, I really like that pick for the Dragons coming in as a solid support, but also someone who's got a lot of great in-game knowledge. That, I think, is going to be a huge bonus to this team. So let's go ahead and keep this show rolling. I do believe we have the second name coming in. And I believe these players go quite a far ways back. They've been around for a while. And Lunar, with his return, going to be coming in as the second pick here for the Spartans. Well, first pick for the Spartans, but second pick overall.
Yep, Lunar, played against him back in my first split in LRS when I was the Yumi one trick. Thank you, Pratoga. Definitely had a great time playing against him. He was always something we had to worry about. He had some really cheeky picks that we were not ready for, and I'm expecting Lunar to have some crazy picks going in as things go on this split. Crazy jungler, crazy pick, and definitely a good one coming through, especially being grabbed up second round pick.
Yeah, Lunar is kind of cracked in the jungle there, so it's going to be nice seeing him back here with Legends, back on the Rift again, pulling off those crazy plays. I'm sure if you went digging in some of our old clips here at Legends, you'd find a couple of him just popping off, so let's look forward to having Lunar returning back to us. But, third pick coming in. We're going to get ready for this one next. It's going to be for the Outlaws. We're going to wait for that name to come on in and see who is next on the docket here. A lot of players to choose from here, and let's see what it's going to be. I do believe this is a new player coming in. I'm gonna just double check to make sure we have a card for them. I'm gonna see if we do have one, but we'll have that name up on the board in just a second, my friends. No, unfortunately, no card, but we will get their name on there. So let's bring them on up. Being picked up by the Outlaw is going to be none other than Facebreaker. So, now I've got a little insight to who this actually is. So with a little bit of a name change, this is actually Xiaop.
It's Xiaop.
From last, yes, Xiaop 88. I see. So this is actually a returning player. They were on the Vipers last split. So that is actually what I thought was a new player. No, returning player and a very good player at that. So love to see that.
Xiaop had some crazy plays, and looking at this match history that's going on here, we see a lot of those crazy picks coming out from the jungle there. Practicing those assassins, getting ready, because assassin items are really strong as of now, and some of the champions along with that also work really, really well. So I'm very excited to see how some of these picks do start rolling, and great player we saw last split. Definitely more excited to see how things happen after they've acclimated after last split here in split number 2, fall.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing Xiao back once again, but just gonna lower that music real quick because it's a little deafening. I just need to hear my own thoughts, and let's see. I do believe we have the next player coming in as well too. We're gonna get that name up in a second as well too, but this time it's going to be for the Wizards. So let's get that name up there. I'm just slightly sweating behind the scenes. You know what? I've been through a few of these. I should have expected to get some sweating going on during this stream. So let's I hope you guys do. I do appreciate the patience coming in, guys. We're doing our best here to get things going, but let's get this pickup on the board for the Wizards. Gonna be none other than Louis Vuitton 7. What a great name too.
Louis Vuitton 7. Gotta love that name, gotta love the brand, but the man behind the brand is what we're looking at here. And, got some great, oh my god, got some great picks. Thank you, English. Going through, gotta love to see a lot of Ezreal coming through so far. But overall, Assassin of Fashion has arrived. Definitely a good quote there, especially after that namesake. But, a little bit of everything there on the match history, so very excited to see how some of these picks do roll. Looks comfortable on just about every 80 carry that I can see here. So, willing to play that Seraphine if needed, the Karthus, everything, you name it, Louis Vuitton's got it. And just like the brand name itself, very fashionable and very cool to look at.
Yep. And with that being said, we do have our next pick ready to go. So unfortunately, no player card for this player, but we do have the name ready up. And this is for Guardians' first pick. Going to be none other than Dardoch Fanboy. 69 coming in as the 5th pick overall and the first pickup for the Guardians.
Dardoch Fanboy. Oh, how I have not seen you for the past little bit in LRS pre-made. But seeing you here, very excited to see how things roll. You did win that winter split, and were unfortunately subbed out afterwards for the summer. And, RTT did not end up making it past the quarters, I believe. So, maybe it's a Dardoch diff. We'll see coming into the rest of this split here in draft. So, I'm very excited to see you, Dardoch. Let's see how things roll, shall we?
Very excited to see how things roll. Well, It's speak of rolling, we are rolling through these picks pretty fast, and we are going to have the next one up in just a few seconds. So this is, I believe, another returning player. We are going to take our time actually with the next two, since this is going to be a double pick coming up here for the Phantoms. So starting with their first pick, we'll cover that first. Is their first pick for the Phantoms coming in, and that's going to be, hold on, I don't want to spoil it. I want to get it ready on the stream first. None other than Amistan as the Phantoms' first pick.
That is my boy, Amistan. You know, one of the players that, you know, vouched for me back when we played on the Falcons in LRS. And he's my boy, really good player. He was ranked 3 Xayah back in fall 2020, I believe. So, you know, definitely competent in the 80 carry role. Did role swap to mid for this winter split. And even though his team didn't do so great, we were able to stream some beautiful, beautiful outplays coming in on the Echo, on the Yone. And, you know, former ranked 3 Xayah, definitely second split with Legends. Amistan is a player to watch out for.
Absolutely. Coming back in once again. And let's see what kind of performance they're going to be putting up. Remind me though, Salt, were they on the Phantoms last split too?
No. They were on the Wizards split.
Okay. Oh, yes, because you and Karthik both played together with Amistan. That... Right. I remember now. There's so many lovely players across the board. I'm sorry if I... my little pea brain, my smooth brain here does not remember all of them, but I try my best. But next player coming up, no player card for them, but we do have the second pickup for the Phantoms here, so we're going to go ahead and show that off here. Coming in, second pick for Phantom, 7th overall is going to be Stuck Darrow.
Yeah, Stuck Frick Darrow. Definitely had the pleasure of streaming some of those games, and that top lane was always exciting, especially with Stuck Frick Darrow up there. Great player. The Darrow diff did happen quite a few times, and what more can I say other than the Phantom's looking kind of scary right now, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Phantom's looking really, really strong.
Two really strong pickups right off the bat there. It's going to be setting them up quite nicely, especially the fact that you also have Toad Step, so that's 3 out of 5 members are ready for the Phantoms picked up, and it'll be interesting to see what they want to round it out with, because yeah, they got their ADC picked up. Toad Step, I believe, is a mid laner? No, jungler.
Toad is a jungler.
Toad's a jungler, yeah. So you got your top and jungle combined together, which honestly, love having that synergy already set up, and a support too. So you got the buns of the sandwich already, and let's say the tomato or lettuce on there. You got the, or even better, the sauce, Salt.
Got that sauce going for us there. Phantoms do need a little bit of food. You know, starving out here. Oh, hello.
I do.
What's up, Banana?
Oh, Banana, you're a little early there, brother. We'll catch you for LAS in a little bit. I'll ping you when we're ready to go. But don't worry, we'll get you back. We'll have Banana back in just a little bit, guys. But let's get this next player up too. Just getting their player card ready and prepped, because I do believe I remember editing this one. Yes, I do. But let's, more importantly, get the name ready to go, because this next one for the Guardians is going to be coming in here. Y'all ready? Who's ready? Are you ready, Salt?
I'm ready.
I hope I'm seeing this right, but I know I'm probably not. Coming in as the 8th pick overall and second for Guardian, Desarius.
Desarius, or would it be Desarius? I think it would be Desarius.
Desarius?
Yeah,
I think I added a whole extra syllable in there. Oopsies.
I think Desarius is pretty good. We'll stick with Desarius. And I think this is a new player coming into the split. Taking a look at a couple things. You know, has those mages down in the bottom lane, considering they are playing AD carry for a split. Thank you for the little smiley face. Smiley face too. I'll give you a little heart too. Going through that, you know, knows the meta picks, playing Ashe, playing Vigar as well, going alongside that. So definitely something to watch out for. And he also knows how support works too, so don't be trying to cheese that out there, any support players here in chat right now. Desarius is definitely not something to just let happen. Desarius is going to make things happen. I'm very excited to see this coming up.
Absolutely. Again, always nice seeing new faces here in the Draft League, but we're getting ready to go for the next pickup for the Wizards, so just going to get a few, as I say, edits going again, and getting ready for this one here. But, oh, I think this is also a returning player coming in for us right now. Coming in as the second pick for the Wizards, going to be none other than CowJ. Very nice pick up there for them.
Mm-hmm. Cowjay, definitely someone I did have my eyes on throughout a good amount of the split. A great support player, learning some new champs as I can see through that na.op.gg. Not sponsored. But, you know, coming up with these engaged supports is definitely something to always watch out for. You always got to be scared of a Thresh. You always got to be scared of a Leona. But you know what's coming into the meta? A Moo. So be wary, be scary, and be ready for what's coming up.
Are you talking a Moo support here, Salt? I mean, the double bandage sauce, don't get me wrong. That has been a bit of a strong addition to his kit. That's all I'll say about that, though.
Strong is a little bit of an understatement. I think the champion's a little having a good time there. Just a little bit too much of a good time. But other than that, though, you know, great pool, great champ pool coming in. Definitely excited. Love the Thresh. And yeah, you know, Cowjay, definitely not someone to just watch it. Definitely someone to look and learn after as well.
Absolutely. And let's see if we've got a player card for this player here. Just going to double check and see if we do. On my list, it says we do. We will double check, obviously, of course, to make sure that we've got what we've got. And yes, we do. Lovely. So,
yes.
Next pickup for the Outlaw is going to be coming through as Foot Stomper. Welcome, Foot Stomper, as it is their first split in the LRS draft, and I like their player card quite a bit. Feeling confident. Let's take a peek at what Foot Stomper submitted here for us. Love the confidence.
Let's see. Very, very confident, and I love that kind of confidence. And with the picks that we see coming in here from Mr. Foot Stomper, you know, definitely could happen. A lot of those high engage, high angle-looking champions there with the Blitzcrank Nautilus coming in. Always got to be ready for that hook from out of fog. Always got to be ready for that gigantic anchor coming in down the lane. May scoop you up, may not. You know, let's hope that accuracy is over 50 coming in from Foot Stomper here.
And I do believe we've got the next pick ready to go for the Spartans. So, third player on the Spartans, technically their second pick here, because you got to include Patoga there. But let's see who the Spartans have drafted here. Flip it on back to the draft sheet. Coming in, 11th pick overall, you're going to be Blue Acura.
Blue Acura? That reminds me of my car. But, you know, love the picks coming in from that player. I do believe this is another new face coming into Legends. You know, the Silas got to be wary of. Very strong champion, and always something to be aware of as well. Overall, though, great pool. It's only game, bro. Very, very true. You know, no need to start playing people mid-game. It is just game, right?
It's only game.
Come on, guys. It's only game. No need to get upset. It's just League of Legends, everyone. Let's have a good time. We're here together at Legends to just have a good time with some competition. You know, don't want anything too crazy. No drama, no nothing. Just keep it chill, keep it easy, keep it breezy, and keep it blue like the beautiful Acura.
Love that, Salt. But we do got to get a little banter channel going. I mean, that does make for a lot of the fun that comes with draft, just seeing, all the lovely and delicious banter that comes with some of these players. So I totally, well, I personally may not get involved with it too much. I appreciate it as a part of the game, and you gotta understand that coming for some of these players, it is a big part for them, and I love to see the enthusiasm and the energy that gets brought to that channel during, before, after games too, or leading up to playoffs. It always is just the spiciest place to be. But we're getting ready to go for our next couple of picks. These are going to be for the Dragons, and they've got the back-to-back right now, so we're just going to wait for those to come on through. But so far, we're almost halfway done this, Salt.
We are reaching that halfway threshold after the second pick coming in from the Dragons. We have officially moved past that number 12 pick. So we'll see where these picks do land. But there are still some names left on the table that you have to be wary of. You know, Window to Soul, always an AD carry you have to be watching out for. Went to market, also known as Spencer. Did play mid for the Falcons back in the day with me. And then, you know, always respected him as a player. G-Dasic still up as well. That's some crazy talk there.
Yeah.
Boy Vor up there as well, you know. There's still some great picks left up on the table, so we'll see where these do end up rolling. Perky Tricks, Butters, Leaky Pickle, also known as Giggle. All my boys here just not being picked up yet, but they will be, and let's hope they land where they want to be.
Yeah, gonna get this one edited up because, like I said, is gonna be a double pick. So let's start with the first pickup for the Dragons double pick. Gonna be Camaro Matt coming in as the 12th overall. Second pickup for the Dragons. And they are also, I believe, a new player coming in to Legends, a top laner for them. And like they're going, okay. That's
top laner there, and having a good top laner, having that good foundation, that little island that people like to say is always something to watch out for. And playing picks like that Wukong, like the Urgot, like the Mundo, like the Malphite, things that don't necessarily need all the resources in the world to take care of themselves. And being able to play that weak side is very important, but also being able to pivot towards that strong side with those champs like the Urgot and the Wukong, always something to watch out for.
absolutely. Seen a few nasty Wukong players too that can get those back doors, and is a little much for my P brain to deal with down in silver. So I'm excited to see what kind of happens in that top lane, because it really comes down to a lot of individual skill, and that's where we see those duels, those battles for the top lane really take place. So I'm looking forward to that. But as our next pick, we're going into round 3 now. For Dragons, once again, since they have the back-to-back here, looks like they're ADC, and you just mentioned this player's name. Coming in for the Dragons, going to be none other than Leaky Pickle, a.k.a. Giggle Queef from last split, with the name change as the ADC for the Dragons.
When we were playing up against the Hornets last split down in LAS, Leaky was definitely one of the main things that we were worried about when playing against them, because we know if he does get that strong lead, he can pop off, he can make things happen, and it's not actually 45. I think that may be cap, not too sure. But we'll see how the old man reactions come throughout this split. Definitely had them last time, but I don't know, maybe it's gonna be a little different. Hey, just kidding. You're my boy, but let's get rolling. Leaky Pickle, very excited to have you here, back again in Legends. So the pickle jar has been opened and unleashed. Thank you, Lunar, for that one. And with that, I think we do have things rolling, but, Dragon's looking pretty scary as well. New face there in Camaro, but the picks coming in from Dragons look great as well, rounding out their 4th pick overall, because Metro already counts as that first pick. They have only 1 member remaining.
Yeah, it's going to be a little while until the Dragons get their next pick as well, too, because with that double pick they just had, they will be picking last in round 4. So we are just waiting right now for the Spartans pick to come through, as they are next. And let's see what Pratoga's going to add to this Spartan squad right now. You love to see it, and I know they're in chat. I saw their name pop up a little bit there, so I'm going to get that name edited up real quick. Make sure I got your player card as well, and then we will have this lovely name on the board right now. I'm just going to make sure, because I know there's a little variation to the actual name. Just going to make sure I've got the right one. You know what? Might as well include the full thing here, that's their name. Might as well. Let's see if I can actually fit it in there, though.
Maybe, maybe not. We shall see.
It looks good. It looks good. Coming in, number 14th overall, and I believe 3rd pick for the Spartans, gonna be none other. Ready for this? Oh my god, they're reading a look at Twitch chat. They know! They actually know it's Mint Butters as the next pick. How in the hell? Well, actually, no one of them I might know, because they're in the you guys leaking? You guys leaking spoilers? Come on. Oh, too funny. But man, Butters, awesome player to have back with us again for his 3rd split, and going to be up in the LRS draft once again as the ADC for the Spartans.
Sivir OTP is back once again. Yes, definitely something to be very, very scared of, but very good on those aggressive picks as well. The Kaiser Tristana, all those things that want to go and want to get in your face and destroy all your hopes of winning any video games here at Legends. Butters has going for them. So, Butters, the player that I've been watching, player that I've been excited to see. Great plays, very, very strong in those one-on-one engagements, knows how to play those out very, very well. Sivir only this split. We'll see. but we'll see if that does end up getting banned. Question mark?
Question
Maybe.
mark?
We'll see.
I don't know if it's gonna be as targeted as Sergeant Hades, Zoe, but again, in the hands of those players who have been with older ADCs, I mean, we're getting a little old now. Well, at least myself. I won't speak for yourself. Been around for a while. Silver's been around for a while, but someone who knows the ins and outs of that champion, especially who's just like on point all the time with those boomerang blades. Ugh, nasty,
Ugh,
nasty stuff. Well, next one coming up as well too. We've got the next pick for Outlaws ready to go, and this one brings a smile to my face because the husband diff has been reunited once again, and it feels so right. Dallas, number 15 overall, getting picked up here by the Outlaws.
Yes, Mako, your heart does beckon. Your husband is back with you once again. And very exciting to see these Outlaws come forward, looking to steal away this victory here coming up in this Legend split. Dallas Diff is here. Dallas Diff is unafraid to make things happen. We do like Wide Orn. 5th split with Legends. Dallas, I'm expecting the Dallas Diff to go either way here, but I'm hoping it's towards an Outlaws victory.
Oh man, that's definitely some powerful synergy that these two players have together. So to be able to get Dallas for this pickup for the Outlaws is going to be absolutely fantastic. It's just, I mean, Majorly has played in the top lane, but this guy plays it all. I think last split we even had him as a flex position because he can literally play any position. So a lot of skill coming in from this player. He's been around for absolutely ever and a huge part of the Legends family. So really happy to see that name popping up and glad to see you pairing up with the Outlaws there, Dallas. Very, very happy to have that happening. But we believe we are almost ready to go for our next pickup here for the Wizards. Gonna see if yeah, we do have a player card. That's lovely. That is lovely. Just gonna get their name edited up here and get this ready to go. So let's see. As just doing some clicking. Good thing I turned the threshold up so you guys can't hear how much clicking is going on. But coming in, number 16 overall, and 3rd pickup for the Wizards is going to be none other than Conjured Raven themselves. A top laner, I believe, and I think this is their... Is it their first time in LRS?
I'm not too sure. Maybe they played when I was in LRS.
I do believe I saw Conjured Raven's name up before, but this might be their first time in LRS draft. Or it might not be.
Okay.
It might not be. I might have misread it wrong, and they've already played one, and this is technically their second one. But, oh no! I see them there. First in draft. Thank you, Conjured Raven.
There we go.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
W.
But you see the Darius as the player icon, and I don't know about you, I've seen a bunch of scary Darius in this league, and it absolutely scares the crap out of me when I see that kind of that initial just I would say advertising to say, listen, this is what I play, be ready for me.
Yep, the scary Darius definitely nothing to scoff at here in Legends. We've seen so many Dariuses just pop off, get pentakills, get everything you want to see. Always got to be wary about that Dari. But other picks there are also viable as well, with the TK coming in, Thomas Kench himself, Dr. Mundo also a great pick, and all these very, very strong champs that have great 1v1 potential. Always up here and always something to be scared of, especially when going up against Conjured Raven. So you may be the second best Raven, but we'll see if you're going to be the best top laner here in LRS draft.
We do have the next pick for the Guardians coming in. Oh, that's not right. That is not right. 1 sec, I forgot the actual... Real quick. Nope. You can't draft a person twice. That is streamer error there. I apologize, my friends. We're gonna have the right name up there in just a few short moments. A click of a button, and let's hope it's actually lined up. It's kind of lined up. I'm gonna get even more lined up. But Scripting Xerath coming in as the next pick for the Guardians. I believe this is a first-time split for them as well too. So welcome on in, Scripting Xerath. Possibly.
I do not believe so. I think there is another account that has been played here, and Legends maybe not. No, definitely not in draft, but I think in pre.
It might be their first draft split.
Yes,
there, Salt.
I think it is their first draft split. Yes, it's a rename. I see the other account that has been seen in pre-made on the little groups of op.gg. So definitely a player that I have seen a few times. Did not get the pleasure of of casting. So yeah, pre-made, yes, definitely. I think the account that we're looking at is Lily Krabs. That's what I believe we're looking at here. Scripting Xerath, though, plays those carries very, very well. Don't be letting that happen. Don't be letting all those Yasuo Yones come through, because, you got to be scared of the Brothers of Wind. And definitely something to be watching out for from Scripting Xerath. May not play that super long range, but who needs range when you can just, knock them up, run them around, use your swords, and slash them to death that way.
Oh, man. Some big names coming through, too, and we're getting close to that last round, and right now, moving forward, we do have the next 2 picks from the Phantoms, so we're going to be going through them one by one here. So let's start with the last pick here of round 3, a name that I remember seeing back in LAS draft last split. This time in the LRS, getting picked up here, going to be none other than Perky Tricks as the 3rd pick for the Phantoms.
And wasn't that the team that took you to 5 games there?
Yep.
5 games. That was a long series. They did not go down without a fight. And Perky definitely taking the mantle there of that support coming through. And definitely super excited to see Perky back. Support-only mains are a different breed. Very, very true. Gotta agree with you there, my friend.
Me too.
Second split
no
there
bias.
with the Legends. Unfortunately not there with the dual partner of Leaky Pickle, but I think Amistan is more than a suitable replacement.
Yeah, that was actually something I was going to point out, because on the Hornets in the LAS draft last split, it was Perky and Leaky Pickle together as a duo, and a very strong one. Both you and I both had the opportunity to face up against them, and neither of them were underperforming at any point. They had really good synergy, so it'll be interesting to see what happens when they have to face each other at some point down the road. So very much looking forward to that matchup.
Very, very true. But, I think the second pick is coming up, and it is also a name I do recognize. I will not spoil it just yet. But...
Yep. Unfortunately, no player card for them, but we are going to get their name up on the board in just a second. So, final pick here for the Phantoms. So, this is going to round out their roster. Coming in, number 19 on the board, going to be Went to the Market.
Went to the Market, also known as Spencer, also known as that mid support crazy player there. Was a Bard one-trick last split. This time things have changed. Back to the mid lane. Back with Amistan as well. So this is a very big throwback to the fall split that we did have a little while ago. So it's going to be very interesting to see this reunion. Definitely excited to see both these players back together once again. And, got some crazy picks there. Knows those control mages very well. And, Spencer or went to the market, gotta be wary.
Yeah, and I didn't realize at first that was Spencer's name, just with the name change. So that is going to be fun to see him back on the Phantoms once again. So very lovely stuff, and we're going to head on back to this draft table once again. Well, actually, we're already on the draft table now that I realize that, but it's Guardians' pick, their final pick. So I'm just going to give them the ready check that we are good to go once again. And resume these last 5 picks here for LRS draft, and that's going to round out pretty much our entire draft table here for LRS.
Yep, this will be rounding out everything, right? There is 1 AD carry left, 2 top laners, and 2 junglers left on the table. So whatever these next 3 picks are will determine where everyone else goes.
And we just got the pick coming in now, so we're going to get that name up on the board in just a second. I do believe this might be a new player as well, too. I'm going to take a peek at their player card in just a second, because that'll give me the information. Assuming that I actually edited them correctly, but who knows. It is first-timer coming in here. Going to be Catalude being picked up by the Guardians as the final pick. And I believe they are a top laner as well, too. So let's get their player card up on the board so you can get to know a little bit more about Catalude here.
So, Catalute, after taking a little bit of a look-see there at some of those accounts there, we see a lot of 80 carry top laners, the Vayne, that Lucian, but you always gotta be wary of the dog, the big, scary Nasus up in the top lane, also known as Susan. Gotta be wary of that. Don't forget, though, there are some other picks like Mundo, Trundle top as well, always be scary. And, ready to get down to the nitty-gritty? We're definitely ready to get rolling here at Legends, and thank you for being with us. Thank you for giving us some time. And it's going to be good to see how you do perform here in this top lane. We got some big names here. Will you be able to perform, Mr. Catalude? That is the question. And I'm definitely excited to see how things roll.
Absolutely. We're getting ready to go for the next pick. This time, final pick for the Wizards. Let's see what they're going to do to round out their comp here. And just keeping an eye out. Because, like you said, not too many names remaining there on the board to pick from. As we are getting close to the end.
With this next pick, I think we can just speed run the rest of it, considering how placements would work with the remaining 3. But first, we have to announce the player on the Wizards before we do anything else.
Yep. I hope I'm saying this right, but coming in, 21 on the board, and final pick for the Wizards going to be none other than Sarange. I hope I'm saying that right, but I know I'm butchering it, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but welcome. Welcome. I think this is a new name for me that I have not seen before. Unfortunately, no player card for them, but welcome on into the league. Always nice to have some new players here. Let's see what they're going to be busting out this time. And remind the viewers at home what position this player is going to be playing, Salt.
This player is going to be playing in the jungle role this time coming up in this split. Playing those carries like the Kha'Zix, like the Graves, all those things, getting things rolling there. Does have those roots down in the mid lane, though, from what I am being able to see. Does have an ult, also known as NA Ego. I think that has been seen a couple times in pre-made, not too certain. Definitely does ring a bell. Oh, it's best non-pro mid.
Oh, that definitely rings a bell. So, not the first time in Legends, not the first time in Draft. Welcome back. All these name changes are really throwing me for a loop here, so
just a little bit.
Do apologize for that. So technically right now, the draft is complete, but we are going to take our time and go through these last final names to give each of our players their own individual time here and their little highlight, little moment. As this is going to be the next, the final pickup here for the Outlaws coming in, and not going to be on the Spartans, not going to be on the Dragons. This time going to a new draft team for their first time in quite a while. None other than Juanito Sol.
Juanito Sol, the Jhin one trick coming through once again. That Jhin is perma-banned. Never seen it ever. Juanito, I am so sorry, my friend. You're never getting that. But definitely an 80 carry to be wary of. Plays the Samira very well. Plays those aggressive picks very well as well. But can also play that utility with the Ashe, with the Jhin, everything like that, just to boost the Jhin one trick. Don't know about the boost part, but definitely a one trick for sure.
His Jhin is definitely one of his bread and butter picks, don't get me wrong, but definitely a lot in the arsenal for this player. And as you can see there, his 6th split with Legends. This guy's been around for a while. Juanito Sol, I think it was winter 2020 when he first came. Someone can do the math real quick on the side, but I'm not going to do that right now. He's been around for a while, and definitely a nice member to have coming back once again. So love having you back here once again, Juanito. Looking forward to seeing you here in the LRS.
Mako with the staff team.
That's funny. Oh,
that's
man.
Good. And Footstopper 12, true.
You guys are funny. Well, we ready. Couple more picks left to go. Final 2 here. And we'll get the Spartans final pick up here. And big name coming through once again. I believe this is his 3rd split with Legends, if I'm correct. Let's double check here. Yes. 3rd split coming in. Top lane supreme. Gotta. None other. On the music cue too. G-Dasic, let's go.
There goes that music cue. G-Dasic coming in once again there. I believe he was on the Vipers last split. Played very, very well there. Definitely something to be wary of. and had some really crazy picks that I love to watch. Swear I'm not an R1 trick. Definitely not an R1 trick. What am I saying? Had some crazy picks there. The Gnar was definitely something to be watching out for, though. And, got to be wary of the carries as well. The Jace there, the Jax. Every single one of those picks can make things happen.
Oh, love to see Dazik coming back again. Lovely dude from the times I have gotten the pleasure of talking to him, but it's always a fun time watching what Dazik can do up there. He's been around to a couple different positions, so I'm curious to see if he is going to stay top, because a couple times I've seen him go down to support as well too. Plays extremely well down there as well too, so it'll be a good time either way for the Spartans, picking up that lovely top laner. But it's time for our final pickup of the night, and to round it all out, a big name, a player who's been around for quite some time. We're gonna get that name edited up real quick but
here it is.
Final pick of the night for the Dragons as they're coming in here, the big bad volley himself. I kind of spoiled it like that because I wasn't ready, but now I can hit transition. Boom! Vordaddy, pick number 24, and final pick for the Dragons, coming in hot.
And Vordaddy, the streamer man himself, coming in, bringing out the big model on Monday, but also bringing out the big picks here in this jungle. Training up on those assassins there. Very excited to see how those things roll. I see a lot of assassins being picked up by junglers recently, and I'm very excited to see how this meta does form as things do go on here in the draft. And Vor, I'm expecting good things out of you. Dragons looking like they're gonna have a pretty good time. But all these teams look relatively strong. Very similar power levels. That's usually how draft does end up rolling. But we'll see how things do roll here in this upcoming split.
Absolutely, and we do gotta show Vordaddy's player card as well too. So third split with Legends, it's the Daddy diff, and you can see there the 1,000 Pierced Bear. One of his specialties, don't worry, he plays more than just Volibear, but from the amount of times we have seen him on stream playing as a player, his Volibear has just been absolutely disgusting. So love to see Vor coming back once again in the LRS draft. Happy to have you back, buddy. And again, if you see him floating around or on those Mondays and Wednesdays when he's streaming too, make sure to give a big shout out to Vordaddy.
Very, very true.
That's it, Salt. That's going to round out the draft table for LRS. So here's one more glance at the actual table itself before we flip it back to our beautiful faces. But yeah, looking like some spicy teams across the board. This is going to be a fun split for LRS. I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot of these returning players, how they're going to mesh with the new guys. Some of these players who have been together for a while, they're now being split up and having to face off against each other. My God, it's looking like a fun one for sure, Salt.
Definitely looking like a great split coming up. Love to see all these new faces, but love to see the returning ones as well. How is it going to fare? That is the question. I know I have a couple teams that I'm going to be rooting for, the ones with my friends, but other than that, though, every team looks like they are going to put up a fight, and that's what we want to see. We want to see a very competitive split. We don't want to see any stomps. We don't want to see any 3-0s. We want to see the nitty-gritty best of 5s. That's what we want to see.
Absolutely. But with that does round out our LRS draft. So thank you to all our LRS players for tuning in. Best of luck to all our LRS players and our captains as well, too, on your split. That is going to be starting this upcoming Tuesday, I believe. Hold on, let's get dates. I think it's September 14th. Yep, September 14th. 7 p.m. EST is the new start time for Draft League, so make sure to tune on in 7 p.m. EST right here next week for the start of LRS Draft. But Salt, any final points before I send you on your way, buddy?
Let's get things rolling. I'm very excited for this LRS split. Returning phases looking great. Some team names, some curses to be broken, some titles to keep holding on to. I'm definitely looking for the Guardian's curse to be taken down, but I also want to see the Outlaws live up to their names, considering what happened last split.
Yes, I have no bias towards that comment at all. But honestly, I'm looking forward to it. I know last split Wizards had a little bit of a rough go too, so I'm looking forward to seeing, with Hades at the front of this, And the team that he's drafted around himself, like Cow J, Conjured Raven, Louis Vuitton, and Saranghae, which, again, slipping my mind what the rename of that is, but it is a returning player. Best non-pro mid? Yes? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. That's a really strong team already off the bat, so I'm loving the looks of that. Pratogas has seemed to do a little bit of drafting of his own. A little bit of robbery here? I don't know if we're allowed to call it the heist here. Maybe. I think that's a 100 Thieves thing, but hey.
Trademarked. That's not allowed. I'm sorry. That's against the law.
Anyways, I'm looking forward to this. Guys, we are going to take a quick break before we hop into the LAS draft, and coming on next will be our LAS draft casters as well too. So you'll see Banana and Melly coming on next as well too. So everybody say good night to Salt. He's going to be heading off, but thank you so much, Salt, for joining me here today for the LRS draft.
Have a good night, everyone. Take care, and I will see you guys all on Tuesday for this upcoming LRS draft games.
Make sure to stick around because we'll be right back in 5 minutes for LAS draft. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again and queuing up to get ready for the LAS draft. Joining me, as I said before we cut to break, are your LAS draft casters, Banana Bread XD and Melly. You can see him right beside me here. Boys, how you doing tonight?
A little late for my taste, but it's never too late for League of Legends, I'd say.
Just happy to be here, casting again for Legends.
Oh, boys, and you're here for quite a fun night, as this is where we get to see what teams you're going to be casting as well too. So we'll do the same like we did for LRS, but we'll show the draft table, we'll show you the order of the picks, and then we're going to go through the captains for each team as well too before we give the green light over to Dallas to let the captains know we're ready to start. But let's take a look at this draft table for LAS. So let's flip it on over. I just got to do a bunch of clicking. Now let's see what we got here. So, as you can see, 10 teams in the LAS draft this fall split. And first picking is going to be the Panthers this time. So, it's looking like you notice a lot of returning logos as well too, but a few new draft teams here. We got the Scorpions coming in the third pick. We got the Hounds as the fourth pick. And who else? The Hammerheads for the seventh pick. So, technically two different species of sharks in in the LAS draft. It'll be interesting to see when they actually face off against each other. But, gentlemen, are you ready to go through some of these captains and see who's going to be at the helm of these teams?
Sure, dude. Just love to see some returning names, see a couple fresh faces. It's all nice in a big old community like Legends.
I just want to know what positions each of these captains are in so that I can tell what their pick priorities can be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So why don't we go ahead and hop into that? We'll get through these and then we'll hop into the actual draft. So with our first pick, going to be the Panthers captain, none other than another one of our casters, Shogun DHS, as the support for the Panthers. So this is actually going to be his first time playing in the LAS draft, and this guy's done some casting, my friends.
So far, looking at I definitely expect to see ADCs kind of leave the pool first. That's kind of been the way that the draft has usually gone. But looking at like this, looking at the ADC pool, it's nothing too crazy. Like there's nobody above like gold 3. So it's pretty small sample size. Oh, actually no, there's one guy that's gold 1. It's Omni Man. Looks reasonably promising. Actually no, his most played is Yasuo. So
and yeah, we'll get into those picks in a bit. But right now we're gonna highlight our lovely captains that we got for each team. But it is important to think about that too, right? Like as we go through these, Banana, a lot of these captains are mid laners that you're gonna see. And that is going to impact how they're going to be drafting around. So I'm very curious, too, to see, what kind of priority is put on each position. But with that being said, let's get into our second captain of this league. Going to be for the Sharks, none other than Galifianakis. As you can see, that's one of the many mid laner captains that is going to be coming through. And everyone says he's a Talon 1 trick, but he does have the major zigs there on his player card.
yeah,
Galifianakis was a very strong mid laner last split. Made playoffs. His talent was a force to be reckoned with on the Rhinos. So I could see why everyone thinks he is a Talon 1 trick. But he definitely has other picks in his pool that make him a very decent mid laner.
Yeah, I remember from a couple splits ago, Galifianakis definitely had a lot of promise. Unfortunately, trying to build a team around just your mid laner, it's kind of hard to kind of get those pieces to kind of fit together. But being if you play a lot of Talon, you generally have a lot of map sense, so that's definitely a really nice thing to have in a mid laner. Galifianakis is definitely showing a lot of promise, so curious to see what he'll grab. Most likely I expect to see a jungler, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, gonna be interesting to see. Especially those junglers. Very, very important to have on the team. A nice, strong jungler. Quick pause in this because we've got a hype train going on. So thank you to all the subs and gift subs coming in, guys. We appreciate every single one of those. See if we can keep that hype train going. You got that Twitch Prime? You know what to do with it. It's September. Anyway, that's the Twitch brain talking. Let's flip it on over to our next captain, folks. This one for the Scorpions. It's going to be GTR, my brother's BF. I don't even know if the Gators are even in the draft this split, but keeping the dream alive, but with the Scorpions logo instead. Their second split with Legends, and a quote. There's a quote on their card. That's... But from seeing this player in the past split, what do you guys remember about my brother's BF?
Not gonna lie, nothing good. Toby, as I know him, definitely he has a very positive personality, is the most I could say, but otherwise, like, he generally, if you can kind of get a team, like get a couple people that have a little bit more like game knowledge and stuff, like macro, micro, then you can definitely kind of build around him because he has a pretty decent champ pool overall. So again, he's a support, so definitely expect to see ADC go out in this first round here.
I just remember him as the Giggles just partner in the bot lane, and both of them were just very dominant.
Yeah, he's Giggles' cousin.
Is he actually?
Toby. Yeah, Toby is Giggles'
Oh.
cousin. I remember.
I didn't know that. That's actually interesting. So they have that built-in synergy that will no longer be available for this draft. So we'll see how it synergizes with other ADCs in the pool.
No, but like straight up, sidebar, insider secret. This was like my rookie season in Legends. Toby was on the. I don't think anybody cares about it anymore, but Toby was on the Gators. He was a support with Giggle, and so at the time, when I got traded off the Sharks, Toby went to the Sharks. So, and like Giggle told me, he said at that point he traded his own cousin for someone else because he couldn't, like, chances of winning, like it was really, really funny at the time because like it's your own family, your flesh and blood.
I know, that's reminding me of some Fast and Furious quotes coming out
cold.
here. Family.
That's cold-hearted. That's cold-hearted.
Well, you know what? Competition is taking priority, so let's see what's going on as we got more gift subs coming in this time for Patoga. Thank you so much. Let's keep that hype train rolling, folks, as we hop to our next captain. This time, new logo, as you can see, new draft team. It's going to be the Hounds captain, as Seishin is going to be taking the helm for them. His second split playing in the league, and he's going to be a jungler. I think one of the only junglers, actually, of captains.
Yeah, I remember Station. He was, again, he definitely, like, mechanically, he's not bad, but it's just a matter of, again, getting that map awareness as we are in IBSG. It's kind of like expecting a little too much, but it's just kind of something that you will get and break down later on. Again, in the comment or in the chat, I saw Perky. Yes, indeed, Giggle is very, very toxic. I will not disagree with you. But Station was my captain for a bit. He's very positive. Definitely is a really good leader in that sense. So good to see what kind of team he's going to build around him, as he is one of these sole junglers.
I do know that Seishin has been getting coached in the jungle, so can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's a very well-known jungler in Legends. So he has that in his back pocket, so maybe he'll surprise us in the jungle.
Absolutely. Ooh. Absolutely. Let's see what Seishin's got to offer for the Hounds. But our fifth captain here in LAS Draft, a Legends veteran who's been around for a long time, and this time captain of the Rhinos. Gonna be his sixth split with us here at Legends. Ezio Killer 007, and returning with the same quote as well too. Once turned water into fireball at a party. Don't know how you do that. Chemically, mechanically, I don't know if it's witchcraft. I don't know, but if he can do that, that's a great party trick. But
Ezio, just like it's like the opposite Jesus, or Satan, as you would say. Turned water into fire instead of wine. But I remember Ezio a little bit. He's not too. Gotta be honest. Gotta be honest. If he had a little bit more micro, definitely be better. But otherwise, his pool is relatively solid. Mechanics aren't too bad relative to IBSG, but otherwise, he's a pretty average player, I would say.
For Ezio, he takes a lot of flack from the players of LAS, but he holds his own, and I think he has a strong mental because of it. So we'll see if he's made any improvements in the off season, and then proves that he improved his micro just a little bit.
Yep. And moving on to our next captain for the Nocturnals, this time being led by none other than B-Pots himself. His third split with Legends, and you can see there, I love Beanie, has his quote. Very nice stuff, and also a huge shout out to B-Pots for helping with a lot of these graphics that you're seeing on stream tonight. But quick points about our lovely B-Pots boys. Go.
Not gonna lie, I don't remember him that much. I forget. Is he a jungler?
Support.
Support. Okay, then I vaguely remember him a little bit because if I remember, they were in the opposite bracket. I remember he wasn't that bad. Has a decent pool. Definitely like a support that has a lot of options. Enchanters, engage, disengage, etc., etc. But not too bad. Obviously, Beanie is the love of everybody's lives in Mint. But otherwise, he is pretty decent there as a captain.
Well, Epots previously was an ADC for Rodham, so switching to the support, if you're in the bot lane, both roles decently well. I think B-Pot's in the support role is very strong, and hopefully he picks up a very good ADC to match his skill.
B-Pots, honestly, great support coming in, always willing to give anything his team needs to succeed. So that's what I love about B-Pots, is always there to help someone out, whether it be on the Rift or off. Great guy. He's also done some casting too, so keep your eye out for B-Pots. Make sure to give him a shout out and thank him for all these lovely team cards that you see on stream tonight. But moving forward with our next captain, returning once again, Defoe. Definitely not a brand main, as the Hammerheads captain.
Defoe is definitely one of the top tier mid laners. His pool is a little bit unorthodox. You kind of whip out the Lux, you got the brand, stuff like that. So it is very unorthodox, but it is very effective. Generally wins lane with kind of like those poke champions, that most people find it really hard to play into, and then he kind of snowballs that lead into getting his team a win.
Defoe definitely loves playing these bully mid laners that you don't normally see in meta. Might see them in solo queue off chance, but he's just a very off meta mid laner that just takes the cake.
Yep. Great, strong mid laner. We've seen his LeBlanc coming out, especially at the tail end of last split, so I'm excited to see Defoe back again in LAS draft. But going on to our next captain, going to be the Grizzlies captain, Stone Kit Kat, in the ADC position. I believe it's his second. That might be wrong. It might be his third split playing with Legends, but we're seeing him out a bunch in these past splits, and I'm honestly got to keep my eye out to see if he's going to be drafting his brother at some point, which I believe is Jesus. So I got to keep my eye out on that if Stone Kit Kat is going for that pick.
Stone Kit Kat is a jungler, if I recall, but
ADC this split.
Okay, he's gonna be ADC. So yeah, definitely expect to see Cheeses being picked up there. Both of them as a duo when they were a top jungle duo. Last split or the split before, they did really well together. I wasn't paying attention to the postseason, but overall in the regular season, from what I remember, they did really well for themselves. Both have a lot of good synergy, and they have a pretty decent champ pool, so curious to see when they role swap here.
Last season, I did have the chance to face the Grizzlies. I just knew that they were a very top tier team in the other side of the bracket, and Stone Kit Kat, Cheeses, they were just, like you said, a very strong duo, and hopefully they get to do it again this split.
Absolutely. And our second last captain coming in here, once again, the captain of the Eagles, going to be none other than Killua, the mid-champ Ocean player himself and Mint owner. Is been in the playoffs a bunch too, so this is a big player returning once again to LAS draft.
Yeah, Killua definitely one of those really big names in the LAS scene in pre-made and in draft. So definitely has a very unique champ pool that kind of makes him very slippery, kind of hard to pin down exactly what you want to ban against him, because most of the picks he picks are usually relatively good into a lot of things. So he has lots of options and definitely a big leader there, as he has been a captain for a while.
Definitely loves picking these mid laners that are very team fight oriented, so he has that big voice and has that go button that allows his team to follow behind him as he sets up the play. So Killua is always a big name and definitely a consistent player. Hopefully he has a big season.
Absolutely. Looking forward to having Killua back once again. Shout out to our old Blue Milk days back in Winter Split. But our final captain of the night, going to be his second split returning with us as a player, the Falcons captain, Sniper Borica. And as you can see there on their player card, a lot of involvement in the LAN scene as well too, doing some of their own casting.
Ooh, Sniper Boricua, I'll say. ADC definitely has a very, very nice pool there. Being bronze 1, definitely expect to see probably a high experience support pick there, so definitely expect to see either Kaiser or Excels to be taken off the map there for the Falcons. But overall, definitely a very good experience to have. Very experienced in League of Legends, been playing since season 5, so definitely want to see kind of that experience flow into the LAS draft scene.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Melly.
Don't know much about this player, to be honest, but like you said, he needs a very, very experienced support to be able to survive in these LAS bot lanes, and hopefully he has a good draft plan. Yep.
Awesome stuff, but that does round out our captains, which means we are almost ready to go, guys. We're going to get this draft started up in just a second, so make sure, Banana and Melly, you're following along on the draft sheet that I've sent you. We're going to have those picks coming in about every 2 to 3 minutes, and we'll just make sure to keep this show rolling. But are you guys ready for this? Are you guys ready? Let's see what these teams are going to be. Again, thank you so much to all you out there for the hype train. That is absolutely awesome. Love to see it and love to see all the love too. We appreciate you guys out in Twitch chat. Bringing the numbers in, over 100 viewers in here tonight. Let's go, baby. Anyways, let's send it off to the draft table. Let's give these guys the green light. And let's see what the Panthers are going to first pick for us in this night. Wow, already coming in, guys. So I'm just going to do some editing before we announce what the actual pick is. And I'll let you guys know when I am ready to go for this one. But that is... we're seeing on our end quite a big name already off the bat.
Ooh, that's a very interesting first pick there, though.
Yep. And just 1 second, we're gonna just edit up something real quick to get the right logos and everything on here to make sure they're all looking fancy. But we do have it ready to go, guys. So first pick coming in for the Panthers, a jungler pick, and a huge one at that, none other than Zolo Bomber.
Ooh, let's look at the stats here, man. Zolo Bomber, if I remember, was definitely a very, very solid jungler there. Definitely one of those, a little bit, kind of like a rookie in the LAS scene. Not like, I think this is like his second or third split, if I remember.
Second split,
oh,
yep.
Second, okay.
Second split.
So definitely one of those names that you do remember. It is a very interesting name. Definitely a very, very solid jungler. Is technically a support main and dabbles a lot in jungle too. So definitely two of the lanes that have the most kind of like map awareness. So definitely like to see that he is going to be first pick there for Shogun.
He plays these very lane gank heavy junglers like the Volibear, Trundle, Jarvan. Very team oriented. Even has some Moon games here, and a jungler that has Raven Man's stamp of approval is definitely a jungler to fear. So hopefully Zola Bomber is the best first pick you can ask for.
Definitely a strong one coming in first. We are getting the next pick up for the Sharks, so Galifianakis locking in now, and we've got it officially up there on the board. Coming in as our second overall pick, going to be none other than Beanie. Oh, love to see Beanie coming up nice and early in the draft here.
It's just Beanie Diff, dude. Like, there's nothing else you can do. Beanie is one of those people that, you know, every now and then he might clown around, but when the time really matters, he will step up and he will carry your team. Beanie, very interesting to see that he is going to go to ADC. He was mid lane for a long while, but kind of looking at the stats here, not a lot of ADC games really. Nope, never mind. There's a couple Samira games. Samira very, very strong. Yeah, he's been practicing a lot of ADC, you know, Triss, Samira, all those kind of strong early game picks there. So definitely expect to see a lot of aggression in that bot lane there and see if who can quell that power.
We all love Big Nose Beanie here in the Legends scene. Obviously, like you said, he was a very strong, decent mid laner in previous splits. It's kind of interesting to see him going to ADC. Only has a few games, like you said. Maybe he'll put in some practice and show that he's one of the top ADCs in the pool.
Absolutely. love Beanie. Also a caster for Wednesday night's LAS pre-made, so lovely seeing Beanie's name come up nice and early here in the draft. I do believe we have the next pick coming in for the Scorpions, so we're going to have that up in just a second. Need to go find their player card first, obviously. And I think it's just hiding in here somewhere very deep. There we go. So, as the third pick overall and first pick for the Scorpions, this is a name that was right up there at the top of some of these picks. So, I wonder where they actually went, because I can't see the name anywhere there. Interesting. One sec. Just thinking. I cannot see them for some reason, but we're going to have their player card up and their name coming up on the board anyways. Third pick overall, none other than Omni-Man, picked up by the Scorpions.
Absolute menace to society in the show, but below a top beast here in the ADC pool. Gold one of the highest ranking ADC in this entire pool. Just based on like kind of the champions that he does play, or they play, that there is definitely a lot of aggression here. Yasuo being here, so you got to be scared of that flex. The Samira is also in there. You got the Ezreal Jhin. There's a lot of options that Omni-Man does have. Omni-Man being a very, very flexible ADC, having a lot of different play styles. So hope to see that. Yeah, so he's going to be paired up with Toby. So definitely going to be a very, very aggressive bot lane here. Like to see that Toby can play those protector peel kind of supports, and that you have Omni-Man kind of being there with the bucket and a mop to clean it all up.
Definitely has a lot of options in the bot lane, that's for sure. And I heard that he had a very nice showing in exhibition, so probably caught Brothers BF's eye, and hopefully he matches up to what he needs in the bot lane.
Yeah, definitely going to be a nice, strong pickup for the Scorpions there, but we've got our next pick ready for the Hounds. So, this is definitely a big name returning too. Seishin doing some scoping here on what they wanted to be picking up for their bot lane. And as the fourth overall and the support player for the Hounds, going to be none other than XL's picked up as the next draft pick here. Huge name for the Hounds.
We're talking about experience. That is the definition of an experienced support there. For many seasons, XL's has been a top support in the LAS scene here in general. So definitely being paired with Omni-Man. So apparently in the chat, Omni-Man is Master Uguay. So I saw him a while ago, and Master Uguay, I think he was on the it was something purple. I think he was on the what was it? I think it was the Wolves. if I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does really, really well for himself. Like, if you get a lot of resources into him, he does really well for himself. And now that you have a menace like excels in there in the bot lane with him, now you probably have, on paper, one of the strongest bot lane duos already in the LAS draft.
XL's is not with Omni-Man. He actually just got drafted by Seishin.
Oh,
So
wait.
that's-
Oh, my
Yeah,
God. dude,
Seishin's got him, so that's the jungle and the support
Very good.
picked up for the Hounds already. This next pick, though, guys, we are ready to go to the next pick, though. So for the Hounds, that is going to be a nice big support pickup for them, but this next pick is actually going to be shaking a little bit of throwing a little bit of a wrench into this situation here, because this is a name that came up while we were going through the captains and picked up before we can get to that Grizzlies pick. Going number 5 overall, and to the Rhinos, gonna be none other than Jesus.
Jesus, definitely one of the newer names here, but has a lot. He's actually one of the highest ranking people in the LAS here. Played a ton of Nunu. We're definitely working on that jungler. Was a top laner a split or two ago, but definitely a very, very strong presence there in general. Just having the name invokes the fear of God into your enemies there. You're going to be paired with Ezio Killer here. Ezio is you said he's a support, right?
Yes, I
Ezio's
believe.
mid.
Ezio is playing mid this.
No?
Yes, you're right.
Oh,
You're
okay
right,
then.
Melly.
So definitely you're gonna have Jesus there. You're gonna have that mid jungle synergy. Jesus has been spamming a ton of jungle games, so definitely want to see that knowledge being put down in the LAS draft here this season.
Yeah, he's been spamming a lot of Lilia recently, so that's a very strong pick to have in your jungle arsenal. Ezio sniping Jesus away from Kit Kat, so we'll see what Kit Kat has in store later on in the draft.
That is definitely a big pickup for them, because that was what I was mentioning, was the fact that now the two brothers duo has been split up, and Jesus is not going to be playing with Stone Kit Kat, playing against his brother at some point this split. So looking forward to seeing the two bros duke it off at some point later down. But we do have our next pick this time, Captain B Putts for Nocturnals. 6 overall, going to be picking up a disgusting top laner, my former top laner on the Outlaws. He's going to the Nocturnals. It's Orenji.
Ooh, Renji, definitely an old name around here. One of our very fortunate admins here in the Legends scene. Renji is definitely a prolific top laner in the draft scene. Plays pretty well there. Has a pretty kind of like a solid pool that can kind of hold itself up there. Doesn't need no support. So definitely like to see how he brings the pain here into the top lane this split.
But based on the quote, Renji, you don't have to worry about being so late in the draft. You are actually 6th picked, so it's definitely a change of pace. Very strong top laner, one of my most respected matchups whenever I was in LAS last split. He has so many picks in this top lane, the Gnar, the Gwen, and those are his most notable champions, so the other top laners better watch out.
Oh yeah, he was my old top laner, so you know all I have to say is you just build different, man. Like y'all gotta watch out. You know, only person that got his number is Beakley.
Renji, honestly, such a great and positive player. Always a joy to play with too. So it really does add to a team having this player with you, is having that positive mindset coming into it. And on top of that, the micro and macro skills that this guy is carrying. Definitely not an R1 trick. As I look real close at his look real close at that player card, Renji. I did that just for you. I can't wait till he sees it. I'm peeking on it. Yeah, I did. Now he sees it. Yeah, totally not an R1 trick, but big pickup there for the Nocturnals. We're getting ready to go for the next pickup, which is going to be for the Hammerheads here. So this is possibly a new player. I don't recognize this name right off the bat. It might be a rename. Having a few of those tonight that we're finding out. But coming in as number 7 overall. And the first pickup for the Hammerheads is going to be none other than Ravenous Veracity.
Ooh, Ravenous Veracity. Based on this op.gg here, it looks like a top laner. So gonna go to the support there. Gonna be paired up with Defoe. Definitely love to see kind of that strong presence there. Defoe right off the bat, just grabbing himself a really good support here. Looks like my computer is a little bit slow there, so it's not going to load that up. But based on what I see, not a lot of support picks here. So definitely expect to see a couple sleepers here and there out of this guy. But definitely like to see him get a lot of experience, kind of absorb that essence from Defoe there.
Spamming the top lane, so you won't know what to expect against this guy in the support role. Definitely could pull out the set. That's pretty much all I got from this. So he'll definitely surprise us when the first few games come out.
Yeah, and I'm curious for this next pick because usually, I think for the past 2 splits with Stone Kit Kat there, he has drafted Jesus first. But we do have the next pickup here, which does look like a new name to me. So a new face into the draft. Let's get that name up on the board. First pickup for the Grizzlies and 8th overall going to be LCS Lock.
Ooh, LCS Latch? Latch.
Latch?
Latch.
Well, Latch would be, I think, a T. You might sneak a T in there.
I think it's to be the Latch.
Lock.
But anyway, definitely, I love the support pool. Like, you gotta love a support that has a lot of different options. Even though they're currently gold 4, they have averaged like about high plat or low plat, high gold finishes per season. So definitely lacking a little bit there in the solo queue grind this split, but there's definitely a lot of promise. This is a hard support main. You will expect nothing else out of this guy except pure supporting. Definitely love to see it there. This guy looks like, just based on what I see on the stats on paper, I definitely expect to see this dude give XLs or Kaiser or XLs a run for his money here.
Definitely has that Thresh unlock, so no pun intended, giving B-Pots a run for his money for his Thresh. Definitely doesn't have that one playstyle of either Hard Engage or Enchantress, has a mix of both, so that's very good pick up in the support role, for sure.
We are getting ready to go for this next pickup, and it's going to be the first one for the Eagles. 9th overall, another big name both you guys know, and a lot of us here at Legends have seen for a while. The Big P himself, it's Mint Peakley as the first pick for the Eagles.
Hey guys, remember, Peakley is not toxic. Peakley is just built different. Definitely one of those big wig top laners in this pool here. Going to be paired up with Killua, so you're going to have a really strong presence in both of your solo lanes. So definitely love to see that. Again, Peakley has a lot of different playstyles he can go for. So you have a lot of different ways that you can either play around him or play against him. So definitely like to see that coming out here, especially paired with Killua. You got a lot of strength and options there.
And Killua picking up Peakley, that's already his teammate, so they already have built-in synergies, so he doesn't get maybe the other mid picks, but he definitely gets the one that he was looking for most.
Yeah, it's definitely a big pickup. Heavy-hitting top laner, and yes, we do make jokes about his about how much he loves his Vlad, but he's got a bunch. He's got a bunch in the arsenal there, so I'm looking forward to seeing Peakley back once again for this split, and I'm just doing a little searching for our next player here, because it is going to be a double pickup here for the Falcons, and I don't believe we have a player card for this next person. I'm just going to double check before we move forward. No, we do not. We do not. So now that I've confirmed that, we will at least get their name up on the board. So first of the 2 picks here for the Falcons, because we're ending round 1, starting round 2, is going to be, funny name by the way, Tree Poop F I believe that is a new player coming in to the LAS draft. So welcome on in, Tree Poop F.
Mr. Tree here definitely is a support. Gold 2 in their first season, so that's very, very interesting. Definitely has a lot of skill there to be that very fast learner, as you can assume there. Games are pretty few and far between. Definitely looks like an ADC main, but I wouldn't be surprised if he whipped out that Ashe support there, mandate Ashe support. But gonna be paired up here with Sniper Borukua. So definitely kind of have the new team there for the Falcons.
Yeah, he definitely has that Ashe on lock. He also has that Karma Misfortune, so you could just bring the marksmans into the bot lane. Maybe even that Senna. He has any games on it. Could be a definitely a impressive bot lane. Whoever gets paired up with.
Yep. And on top of that too, since it is the double pick, we've got the next player coming through for the Falcons. 11th overall, Ishan is the pickup, and I do believe this is another mid laner here that we are going to see, and their first split in Legends.
Ooh, Ishan here. Let's look at what kind of stats we're going around with. Ishan is a Silver 2 mid lane main. That's a lot of Echo. 109 games at Echo in about... That's a quarter of all the games he's played in solo queue.
Holy moly.
Played about 3 seasons of League of Legends so far. Overall, looking at this mid lane pool, definitely his bread and butter is just kind of like those champions that kind of can get up in your grill, and they have a lot of outplay potential there. So definitely expect to see a lot of spicy things coming out from Ishan there. So far, Falcons looking like a team that have a lot of rookies there. So as you can tell, anything can happen in League of Legends. So definitely like to see those new teams show their faces and kind of make their name here in Legends Esports.
Definitely a very aggressive mid laner. It's a different change of pace from the control mages that just like to sit back scale and then just wait for team fights. He's not going to wait for team fights. He's going to wait for the end of lane phase where he's ahead of you, and he's going to carry his team into the mid game and then to your Nexus. This Falcons team is very aggressive so far, so I'd like to see how Sniper rounds out his team with these last 2 picks he picks up.
It's going to be a little bit of a minute until we get to see those next 2 Falcon picks, but they are going to be, I believe, back-to-back when we do get to see them once again. So it does make it a bit of an interesting case when you are either the first or last team in this draft order, of how you plan that and what... I mean, yeah, you can get some priority, or what's nice on the double picks, if you know certain players have that synergy existing already, might as well scoop them up. As we'll see if that happens throughout this split and this draft tonight. But we are just waiting on a couple picks here, as it is the Eagles going to be the next pick coming through as number 12 overall. And I'm just looking at what we've gotten so far, guys. These are a lot of big names that we've seen, a lot of returning players through this first round.
Yeah, definitely a lot of big wig names already taken off the table there. So definitely a lot of experience kind of being imbued into these teams here. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see kind of who each captain wants to build the team around. If they kind of want to put their trust into the hands of, you know, this stranger that they just met, or if they kind of want to build it around themselves there. But otherwise, you know, just looking at the overview here for each team, definitely very, very solid bases here, you know, to build your house upon.
Yeah, like you said, we have a lot of returning names, some in the same roles, some in different roles, so it's definitely surprising that you see them returning, and you just never expected they were coming in at the role they came in, like being in the ADC role. No one ever expected that. He was just going to stay mid or maybe even jungle, because you see him spamming some jungle games. Obviously, XL's returning, no surprise there. Then you have the peak lane or Renji to return back in the top lane. Probably going to be one of the two strongest top laners in this draft. So whenever you see that matchup come up, better hope we're streaming it. You get to watch that matchup, and it's going to be very bloody.
I do believe we might have the next couple picks there. Just want to confirm that that they're right before I show them on stream, because I don't want to mess with anybody's draft here. But I do believe those are the next two ones here. So we're just gonna wait on confirmation from Dallas, and then we will continue to get this one rolling. This is looking pretty spicy so far, my friends. I love draft night. I love draft night so much, but let's hope we get this rolling in just a second, as I will get those names edited up, and then we'll have a couple picks back to back pretty fast here. But how are we feeling so far about what we've seen, guys?
I like what I see. I mean, as I said before, I mean, lots of experience already taken off the table here for people that have been in LAS draft for a minute. So they kind of give the new people a bit of a rundown, kind of imbue their knowledge into the rookies to gives them a better chance of snacking away that Rookie of the Split award there. But otherwise, it's definitely going to be a very, very interesting split. There's a lot of new names here. There's lots of returning names. So every split, you know, is very, very interesting, being that it is IBSG. Anything really goes, you know. There's not really a set play style or like a set mentality that you have, except for, you know, just step on the pedal, look for fights.
Yeah, and all of these first picks for each team, it's either somebody that they really trust to just help them with their new players, or somebody like my brother's BF picking one of the highly contested ADCs because he knows he's going to need that help in the bot lane, and he's going to probably draft some returning names that have experience to help lead his team to probably the playoffs and later on.
Well, we do have the next pick coming through, guys. I did just get confirmation on this one too. So 12th overall. What a name too. What a name. If you don't know him already, you can go ahead and look at the top of the subscriber leaderboard for Legends overall. None other than Dream Unforgiven as the next pickup for the Eagles.
Definitely, again, another really big name there. Plays a lot of ADC. Has a lot of different options there if you want to play either safe and reserved, or if you just want to straight up go balls to the wall there. Dream will be paired up here. He's gonna be with Peakley and Killua there, so you got the mint duo already with Dream, so definitely a lot of power synergy there. And Dream being, you know, one of those really friendly guys. He is one of the staff around here, and he is a caster, so definitely ready to kind of put that knowledge to the test here for the Eagles, and try to kind of carry his team to an LAS draft championship.
And those that were here last split will remember Dream as the most improved player of the split. So hopefully that transitions to this season and shows what improvements he further built upon. And I know Dream always loves to harp on me saying that, or mentioning to people that he coached me. So let's see what that coaching's gotten to you this split.
Huge player, great dude, possibly Karthus main. I don't know if we see it ADC, but you see the quote down there, and that's coming directly from the Karthus.
Hey, you can play Karthus APC, I'm just saying.
I agree.
I expect to see it, Dream.
Oh, you just heard what happens when you do pick up Karthus, but a little request from our boy and our top subscriber of all Legends. Thank you so much, Dream, for all the love you send here towards us here at Legends. We love you very much, and excited to see you on the Eagles this split. But we are going to get ready to go soon for the next pick, which is going to be for the Grizzlies. We're just going to wait on confirmation from that, but I do believe we have that ready to go. I'm just going to make sure I've got the right player card up. So we've got all that fancy graphic work that we've been working hard on this past week. Actually showing off on stream. There we go. I say that, but I don't know if there's an actual card for this person. I'll have to go find it real quick, guys. There we are. No, they do have one. But we did just get confirmation on the next pickup. For the Grizzlies coming in 13 overall, going to be none other than Chicken.
Again, one of the higher ranking players here in this draft pool. Just based on his playstyle, definitely a very aggressive jungler. Very, very similar to a certain jungler of Splits past. What was his name? I forget. I forgot.
It's
Like, it
don't
was just
be
there.
too hard on yourself. It's been a lot of splits and a lot of players, so it is going to be
anyway.
their first split with Legends, though.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of promise in this jungler. Definitely, this dude, he looks like he will carry you. Has one of those, those big name junglers that can kind of solo carry. Echo, Kha'Zix, Blitzcrank, or not Blitzcrank.
Blitzcrank jungle.
Echo, Kha'Zix, Master Yi, Echo. But then, you have a couple of the other picks that can help the team as needed. You have the Zachary, you got the Jarvan, and stuff like that. So, Chicken, definitely like to see new names here around the area and to kind of cement your name in LAS draft lore.
Definitely is a probably a player that has a very strong playmaking style. Probably has a strong voice as well. So StoneKitKat wants that on his team to help carry these other laners that he will pick up, and it's definitely somebody that is probably a steal in this late in the draft.
Definitely a nice pickup there. A nice, again, this is something we were talking about too coming into this, was how important it is to have a strong jungler with a fundamental and understanding of that macro. So just to have someone on your team that is going to be there for you no matter where you're at is always nice to have that reassurance. But Chicken picked up 13th overall. We are getting ready to go with our 14th pick, which is going to be for, I believe, the Hammerheads. Yes, that is correct. So I'm going to get this name up on the board because we do have our pick ready to go. I'm just looking at this trying to pronounce it real quick.
Chupacabra.
Yes.
Yes, boom.
La Chupacabra coming in number 14th overall and second pickup for the Hammerheads.
I get it. I get the joke. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But anyway, La Chupacabra played League of Legends for about, what is that, 7? Yeah, let's say 7. 7 seasons of League of Legends, averages about high gold, low plat finishes for the past like 4. So currently gold 3, definitely has a lot of promise here in the ADC role. Again, they pretty much play any ADC there, so it's going to be very, very hard to kind of throw out those bans here, but just based on the stats, definitely has a lot of carry potential. KDA on every single ADC is above a 2.7, so definitely like to see a big name carry like this out there. Gonna be paired up with Ravenous Veracity there in the bot lane for the Hammerheads, so gonna be very interesting to see what Ravenous Veracity is going to pull out to try to help his carry carry the game.
So I see on his card that he's formerly a Kindred ADC 1 trick. So you can probably guess this is going to be a very off-meta bot lane if things go the way we were expecting. But like we said, with these players, you can't really expect anything in a Silver Gold league.
I expect a lot. I expect some spiciness both on the Rift and in the Banter channel. That is that's where you're gonna see.
That's LES channel only.
Oh, it's gonna be a fun split. But number 15 pick is up on the board, guys, as the next pickup for the Nocturnals. I do believe this is a jungle player. Yes, it is. Formerly on the Unicorns last split, now going to the Nocturnals, gonna be none other than Undo.
If I remember anything about Undo was a very, very solid player, had a lot of promise there from what I heard from a lot of people around the LAS scene, but you know, unfortunately, if I remember, he did get traded last minute, so definitely hope to kind of see Undo reach his playoff dreams here this split. He hasn't played in a minute here, so the sample size as of recent is pretty low, but definitely that's a lot of Evelyn games, man. Like that's a lot in a row. I could never do that, but Undo definitely a very satisfactory player. So and has a lot of game knowledge relative to his rank. Holy cow, he's played 1,600 games this season. But wow, definitely nice. Expect to see a lot of that experience show in the games here in the split.
That is definitely a lot of games. I've never seen anyone play that many games in a season, but it does make sense that he has played 142 champions this season. So even though he shows he's a jungle main, he definitely has a lot of experience on different champions. So maybe the Viego could be his bread and butter this split. Who knows?
That'll be fun to see too. I think that's a Shaco skin that he's got on there. It's one of the new ones. It's looking super creepy. Oh, it's so creepy, but that is I like the quote that he's put there. If you don't know what the F you're doing, how are your enemies supposed to know what the F you're doing? That's so true. That's so true. You know what? Kind of an off-the-cuff player ready to go. But like you guys put it perfectly too. Just the amount of time that Undo has been putting into this this season, I think that's going to show. It's got to show with all the time that you've played. So we'll see if that translates into overall macro knowledge, which again, as a jungler, very, very important thing to have going into this split. But that will be the Nocturnals pick up their second one of the night. We are getting ready to go for the Rhinos' next pick. Let's see what Ezio is going to add to his team. Already has Jesus there. We'll flip it back on over to the draft sheet so you guys can see what's going on so far.
Is he gonna steal somebody else's pick again? Maybe it might be his draft strategy.
He's gonna, if he takes another family member, Vin Diesel's probably gonna break through his door. Don't want that to happen.
We do got it ready. I think this might be a new player though, guys. It's a name that's a little unfamiliar to me. So coming in number 16 overall, gonna be Invader L as the next pickup for the Rhinos. Unfortunately, no player card here, but you guys might give us a little bit more insight on this new player to the league.
Yep, definitely, put Xayah as the main champion on there. Does love his Xayah. Xayah did recently get a lot of nice buffs early, or a lot of buffs this patch, so definitely going to see a lot more of that. So overall, again, another hard ADC main, has a lot of options once again. Don't know exactly who's going to be paired in the bot lane there with them, because the Rhinos do currently have both their solo lanes. Or no, wait, no, Jesus is jungler. Yeah, he's jungler this split. So you do have a very, very strong jungler and what looks like to be a very well-rounded ADC and a well-rounded mid laner. So, kind of having that leadership direction go along there, this team will definitely go places. Otherwise, this ADC definitely looks like kind of has that play style that kind of plays more front to back, plays a little bit more reserved early game, and then pops off really hard to kind of carry his team over the finish line.
I could definitely see that this ADC doesn't stray away from the traditional playstyle of ADC. Definitely just likes to farm, go into late, and then just say, hey team, I can carry this game, and he'll do it on these picks like the Kai'Sa, Xayah, Jinx, Ashe. Very strong picks right now. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about Invader L.
Well, we got the next one coming in, and this is definitely a player you all know has been around in Legends for multiple splits. And now going on over to the Hounds, none other than High Reef himself.
Yeah, everything I remember about High Reef. High Reef, again, he is very, very similar to Killua, definitely, and Defoe. Definitely one of the top one of the kind of like the high tier mid laners, just quite barely missing out on that top spot just because there's so many good players coming in constantly. But Hyrule is definitely a very, very solid player. Again, he plays a lot of kind of unconventional picks in the mid lane, but has a lot of potential to carry your games if he does get enough resources there.
Kyrie definitely doesn't have a condensed pool. He plays a bit of everything, and by a bit of everything, I mean he just plays every single role. He's made numerous swaps in the previous splits, and finally going back to his home in the mid lane, and hopefully his skills have stuck with him.
Melly, you took the words right out of my mouth, because I do believe Hyrule was on support last split, as that was one of the spots available for him, so we got a secondary role. But yeah, he plays a bunch of stuff, and it'll be fun to watch him back, like you said, in his home in that mid lane. So awesome stuff, awesome pickup for the Hounds. And now we're getting into the next pick, this one for the Scorpions, a name that he's been around here for a little bit, as number 18 overall coming in, Night Train 76.
If I remember, Night Train was on the Guardians last split, or the split before. Night Train definitely shows a lot of promise here. Played about 3 seasons so far of League of Legends. A little bit lower on the solo queue scale there, but once you're in 5s, rank does not matter. Definitely playing a lot of Viego there, so seeing that those, and goes crit Viego, so definitely going to see those buffs warm up to him very, very nicely there. Also plays a lot of Kindred, so based on like on paper here for his pool, definitely has a lot of scaling picks that are able to snowball very, very well if they get a lot of kills early, or just scale into the mid game, transition that, and then try to transition that into getting these really big leads for his team and then winning the game.
I do remember Night Train last split, his Kindred was definitely a ban or lose champion for him. I remember watching some of his clips that he would post, and just improvement all last split. It's definitely showing in his stats on his OPIGG, and hopefully it shows in the games that we have.
We are going to get ready to go for this next pick, ladies and gentlemen. This one coming in for the Sharks. Just going to have to do a little bit of editing while I get ready for that one. But another returning player coming back, I believe, gentlemen, is this name does ring a bell to me. Going to just have it all edited up nice on stream in just a few moments, my friends, as I mess with some audio stuff too. Doing it all over here at Legends. That's what we like to do. But let's see, as number 19 overall, second pickup for the Sharks. You ready? Ready? All right, let's show it. None other than Napquan coming in as the next Sharks pick.
Napquan definitely played against him a couple times. Pretty much the quintessential weak side top laner. Plays mostly a lot of bruisers, but can play a couple tanks here and there. Tanks are, relatively easy to access. They are very, very simple. But Napquan is your weak side, your generic weak side top laner. Does have, plays those very basic bruisers that have the possibility to 1v9. You'd have Darius, Camille, Aurelia, Garen, such and such. So definitely like to see what they have improved on for this split to try to bring his team to the Holy Land.
I do remember that Napquan is actually Beanie's IRL friend, and last split, Beanie traded his IRL friend, so we called him Fake Beanie, and hopefully this split that doesn't happen again, so that he doesn't get called.
Before we get moving on, I'm just gonna make sure, because I think I might have skipped over Night Train's card there by accident. So I apologize, Night Train. Let's just show that real quick for once again. Take your screenshot real quick, buddy. But I didn't get a quote from you. I gotta get a quote, so that's why you got some question marks there. But the volley bear coming in. Ooh. Anyways, let's go back to where we were before and head back to the actual draft table. Get ready for our next pickup here, as I might have done things a little out of order by accident, so I do apologize real quick like about that as I reset. Sorry, guys. There we are. Oopsies. There we go. Okay, we got the draft table back up. I'm going to make sure the right team is being picked right now because it is actually Panthers coming in. So let's show that on stream. There we go. Boom. My apologies. It's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, guys. So I do appreciate your patience with me when things go a little sideways, as we would say. But this is going to be a double pick here for the Panthers because we are back to back now, going from round 2 to round 3. So we're going to take our time, go through each of these. Double. Just going to let them know I just need a few seconds here. But let's start with the first pickup here for the Panthers here. Well, technically the second, but in this double pickup, we're going to get our first name on the board. And I believe this is a player that you guys are definitely going to be familiar with. So let's get last pickup of the second round up on screen for you guys right now. It's going to be none other than Solid State Frankie coming in as the Panthers' next pick.
Ooh, Solid State Frankie, again, one of the other big names here in the LAS scene. Solid State Frankie is, again, one of the quintessential weak side top laners. Does not get any love up there from his jungler or mid laner or support, but can still kind of make a lead for himself. He is a very, very good cross map player and is very good at team fighting. So definitely love to see that. As of recent, hasn't played too much top lane here, kind of going around there playing ADC and jungle a little bit more, trying to kind of divorce that pool up a little bit. But again, the stats don't lie. Cho'Gath is absolutely wild on this dude. Again, plays those champions that can do very, very well weak side, and then kind of transition that lane into these really big team fight wins and or objective fights.
I could definitely agree with a lot of your statements there. Definitely a weak side team fight oriented top laner, as I faced against him previously. Definitely not a top laner that can be pushed around easily either. Based on rank, you could probably assume that, but he doesn't play like his rank, that's for sure. Experience.
Absolutely, and we got next pick coming through as well for the Panthers. We're going to have none other than Cheese Swiss going top of round 3 here, 21st overall, as the next pickup for the Panthers.
Definitely a new name around here. Have not seen this name ever, so I'm going to have a rookie there to be paired up with Zolo Bomber and Frankie there.
I believe
looks
he's been around
overall
for a little while, Cheese. Yeah, played in 2 splits already. It might have been a name change that's coming through as well too. So I do forget if they had a previous name there. So I apologize for that, but we got them up on the board for you there. Panthers next pick.
Overall, looking at the mid lane pool here for Cheese Swiss, definitely very solo queue oriented. You don't really not seeing a lot of control mages, mostly kind of assassins and such. A couple weirder picks such as kind of like Set, Corky, and stuff, but otherwise kind of a little solo queue oriented. That definitely has a lot of promise here, being that this is IBSG. That solo queue mentality can work sometimes, but in a team environment, you gotta learn how to improvise, adapt, overcome, try to kind of get those wins there. But not a lot of sample size in here for Cheese Swiss. This definitely has to be a name change. This looks so familiar, but definitely definitely going to be surprised to see what comes out of this guy this split.
Definitely a very assassin-oriented mid laner to kind of counteract all the mage mid laners we have already drafted up. So he could definitely test as one of the top mid laners. All of these counter picks he has to offer. Definitely sticks with the AD style. See that Tristana. I've seen some people still working with that Lucian mid, but It's a very hit or miss pick, but in the right situation, it could work out.
Absolutely. We do have our next pick ready to go, my friends, as we're heading back down the table once again. Coming in as the third pick for the Sharks. I believe this is a name we've seen around a little bit too. None other than Altro, being picked up here by Galifianakis.
Must be stupid because I can't find on the.
Oh,
page
wait, no.
here. Yeah.
I was wrong. I totally baited
Yeah.
you guys. It's their first split with Legends. Welcome, Altro.
Actually, I can't find him on here.
I support.
Support.
Support player, yes. And
Fourth.
Yeah, it's not
they
even on here.
how do you not like pie? Not
He's the fourth person on support.
any kind of pie?
What? Bro.
Do they have? Is it just like dessert pies? What about pizza pie? I have a few questions for Altro. What kind of pie specifically do you not like? And and the name does ring a bell. It's their first split in the draft, but not their first split with us here at Legends. That's why they were in pre-made last split. Thank you, Daydream, for the update there in Twitch chat.
Ooh, Altro. Definitely saw a couple games with them. So, looks like a support main here. Definitely plays a lot of those. Definitely, again, has a lot of options. Morgana is definitely one of those top picks. Morgana pretty much plays pretty well into any matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you see kind of like the weirder stuff, like the Maokai support. It did get nerfed, but it is, still very, very strong for that all-in. Base damage is really high and is very, very annoying with the saplings. But, they still have a lot of things they can do in the lane here. So Altro is going to be paired up with Beanie in that bot lane there. So you definitely have Beanie's experience in the draft scene to kind of try to lead that bot lane there to try to get wins over the rest of these teams.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a perfect support for Beanie because it's definitely just screams setup with the Maokai, Morgana, Anivia. You see the Leona, Alistar, Nahus. It's just all set up, and then you have the Lulu there for just the other picks like the Jinx, just hyper carry style. He definitely has a lot of options in that bot lane, and that can be one of the top contesting bot lanes in this draft.
Gonna be fun to have Altro in the draft league as well too. So hope you're ready for what's in store over here in draft. But we're getting into our next pick. This one for the Scorpions, their third pickup of the night, and I believe this is a top laner as well too. Coming in number 23 overall, gonna be Pavel. Is a brand new player to the LAS draft. So welcome on in. Let's get their player card up as well too, guys.
His name does seem very, very familiar. It seems vaguely familiar to me,
Arctic
but
Sea Dog is familiar to me.
yeah. But overall, looking at the pool here on paper, plays a lot of Garen. Love that Garen.
It's been a win,
Garen
baby.
got
It's
me.
been a win.
I one-tricked Garen to get out of bronze and silver, and it helped this dude. He is gold too.
Ooh.
So obviously something's working in there. But that's a lot of Garen in a row. Okay. But overall, looking at the top lane pool here, again, does play a lot of different stuff. Okay, that's a very interesting build there. But not a lot of sample size here. You mostly see Garen, Mordekaiser. So it is going to kind of surprise the enemy to see what they're gonna pick into, everyone else there. But Garen is definitely that big prolific pick here for this guy. So we're gonna see how that goes for the rest of the Scorpions here with Toby, formerly Master Uguay Night Train.
Yeah, he's definitely just playing these kind of juggernauts like the Garen, Mordekaiser. It's just very traditional. You can see some set 8 trucks, and non-traditional like Gangplank, Cassio. He just has a very wide spread of top laners, and I honestly don't know what to expect from this top laner. It could be really good or just really even.
Looking forward to having Pavel here in the LAS draft, but like the quote too, simple, sweet, to the point, Bane.
Same.
Oh, we're all
Spain.
League of Legends players. We know. We know. We know.
Spain, but the S is silent.
Exactly. It's French bread. It's French bread. That's exactly what it is. Oh, oopsies. I'm messing up the draft sheet there. Well,
Oh, no.
we got the next one. Well, the captain's one. I'm messing that one up. Oopsies. do look like we have the next pickup for the Hounds coming through here as well too. Looking like well, we'll see if they're a new player or not once I go to my sheet and seeing what they got. But yes, first split with Legends coming into the Hounds here as their third pick. We're gonna have none other. I mean, do you ever feel like this player? Sometimes. Let's see. It's Plastic Bag 123337 as 24 overall.
Look at that. One of the biggest enemies to turtles everywhere. Plastic Bag. Again, another Garen player. Gotta love to see it. Has a couple of those AP picks there. Has the Vladimir and the Silas. So, again, lots of versatility there. Love to see it being pulled into that top lane. But yeah, this guy plays a lot of different stuff. So, versatility is the name of the game that pretty much is what gets you places once you start getting kind of into the higher elos. So having a lot of versatility gives you a lot of options for whatever your team needs. So especially going to be paired up with that big experience in the bot lane there with XL and XL Station, and then in the mid lane you got High Reef. Yet a lot of that experience, so you should be able to expand your kind of areas of play and then be able to kind of net your team a victory here.
Yeah, you're definitely not going to ban out this top laner. That's for sure. He's going to have a pick for every single game he plays, and definitely can see that he's a Katy Perry fan.
Love to see it. Love to see it. We do have our next pick coming in as well too, and this is definitely a player who's been around for a little while too. Not player card is incorrect saying it's his first time with Legends, so we'll see that in a second. But coming in as the third pick for the Rhinos, and traditionally a mid player, switching to the top now. You've seen his name around ECAS. He's also on one of those Rodham teams over in the LAS pre-made. Number 25 overall, it's Oath.
Ooh, swapping from mid lane to top lane, you'd be surprised, but that is a very big difference. You're going to realize you're not going to be able to one-shot a Malphite once he's building items. But Oath has been kind of playing a couple games there in the top lane, trying to get used to these different kind of picks. You'd be surprised that top lane is a very different play style compared to mid. No, not that much. A lot of like dueling mostly, and you just kind of gotta be more cognizant around the map. But otherwise, you know, he has been practicing a lot. You definitely see a lot of promise here in the stat lines. But definitely good to see some old names, you know, just kind of go around to other roles there, trying to kind of dip your toe in the water, so to speak. So you're gonna have Cheeses in the jungle there, with Oath in top lane, Ezio in the mid, and Invader L up in that bot lane there.
Oath is one of the first names I knew in LAS whenever I got drafted onto his team. I don't think he was the captain, but he was one of the first picks onto, I think it was the Wizards at the time. Yeah, he's been putting the grind into the top lane. I could see, might pull out the Urgot from what I've seen deep into his top lane journey. So he doesn't have one single pick that he specializes in. He definitely has a lot to show, a lot of tools.
Awesome stuff to see Oath, you know, punching his ticket, heading to that top island, and we'll see how he fares up there. But he has been playing a little bit of top, I believe, with Rodham, so not going to be the first time for him coming through, but we will get to see what's looking like the Nocturnals pick coming through next. So we're just going to wait on pick number 26 as we get ready for that one. But we're over halfway through, guys, and these teams are rounding out. Just a few more to go. Well, to be exact, 15. But no, these are looking like some really strong teams, and it's looking like these captains have done their homework and are drafting around, you know, different strengths and weaknesses they may need to bolster on their team. So making sure to cover their bases here. And I'm looking forward to seeing how these teams are going to look once they're completely rounded out. But looks like we do have the next pick ready to go. Going to get that name edited up on the board here. Just double checking to see. We unfortunately do not have a player card for this player, which might mean they're a new player here in Legends. But either way, welcome on in. Number 26 overall, going to the Nocturnals. They read chat log. Yes, we do.
Yeah, looks like based on the kind of champions that they do play, it looks like they play a very kind of like reserved, safe play style there. Definitely kind of shows their true colors around kind of like let's see where it says here. Yeah, around like the mid game. So it definitely plays a very slow style and then kind of ramps it up as the game does go on there. Again, they do have a very versatile pool once again, but most of them are pretty safe picks. You know, you got the Ezreal, you have the Ashe, the Varus, and the Sivir. Let's see. The rechat log will be paired up with B-Pots in that bot lane there. So, you know, again, you have the secondary Thresh God, and then, you know, you have that big experience there with Orenji in the top lane, and then you have Undo there in the jungle for a very, very solid team overall on paper.
Yeah, he plays these very burst-heavy ADCs, so being paired up with B-Pots with these early engaged champions like the Thresh, just any hook champions, it's definitely going to speed up his ramp process, and he's probably just going to carry through the mid game and not even have a chance to see the late game because Nexus will be exploded.
Looking forward to seeing this player in their first split of draft. We got another, I believe, new player coming in next. We have the Hammerheads pick ready to go. Again, unfortunately, no player card available for this one, but coming in number 27 overall and third pick for the Hammerheads, we've got the Cloud.
Trying to find it here. I might be going a little bit insane.
Top laner.
Top laner. There it is. Yep, there it is. I was trying to look for icons, but it's just coloring. But let's see. Looking at the Cloud here. Mostly plays mid lane, but has a couple top lane picks there. Shen is one of those big picks there. Yasuo is like a really big pick there. 325 games this season already.
Holy moly.
Played 200 games of Shen last season, so definitely has a lot of those picks on lock there in the top lane there. So definitely expect to see a lot of Shen bans going out. But just based on kind of like the champion pool that this guy does have, has a lot of map awareness just to play those champions. Definitely looking more to impact the map around him instead of just kind of directly doing it through his lane. Definitely expect to see, you know, if the matchup does permit it, definitely expect to see Yasuo top there every now and then. Yasuo having lots of outplay potential and a lot of utility there with the wind wall. And, you know, Shen, like, this dude has a wicked KDA and an insane win rate on the Shen here. 74 games, 62% win rate with a 4.02 KDA. So definitely expect to see a lot of Shen bans in the first phase there. You can counterpick the Shen, but you can't counterpick a shield. So definitely gonna do very, very well there for this Hammerheads team there. You have a lot of cross map focus, so definitely expect to see Defog or La Chupa Kog'Maw getting a lot of those big shields there from the Shen.
Definitely can see that this player has probably a lot of map awareness just because of how insane this Shen looks. He definitely just likes to stick with these sword wielding champions, the Yasuo, Shen. And you can see the Tryndamere as well. Just likes to be in your face or just on the ADC as well.
Yep, chop, 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 man. That's the role of the game. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Give him the gabagoo.
We do have the next pick ready, so I'm gonna do what I gotta do and get this name up on the board for the folks at home. Coming in 28th overall, third pickup for the Grizzlies, a returning face here to Legends. I mean, none other than Hitstick, being picked up by the Grizzlies.
if I remember, Hitstick wasn't he?
He's on the
I
Hornets last
forget.
flip.
He was a jungler. Yeah, he was a jungler for the Hornets.
I believe
Wasn't he?
Hitstick was the. You know what?
Yeah, I
Give
think
me
he
a
was the
reminder.
jungler.
Hitstick,
if I
you in
remember.
chat? Give us a reminder. Where are you at, Hitstick?
You know what? Dream, where are you? You know everything around here.
I
That's
think
true.
I could
Oh.
definitely say he's a fill player. He's just played every single role. Anytime I've seen him, he's played ADC, jungle, mid, support, and top lane. So he's played every single role. He knows the map pretty well, and not surprised he went to the top lane here.
Okay.
Certified Inter, I can also agree with that.
Oh my god.
I don't want
Um,
to see this guy play Singed or Teemo. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, I'm getting different modes of information here. From his teammate Giggle, he's an ADC main, but he's a jungler. But then I have the god himself, Dream, telling me that he was top. So we're finding hard to who to trust here. But his stick will be going top lane this time around. You know, cause seeing a couple games here, doesn't look like they went very, very well. And this one wasn't that bad. Okay, this one was a little weird, but definitely been practicing a lot of that top lane there. A couple unconventional picks there. You know, you got the Teemo, you got the Comet Poke Scion, you got the Kennen. So definitely, again, gonna get a lot of surprises with this guy in the top lane there. So you gotta expect the unexpected. You know, with the Grizzlies, you know, currently having 2 rookies and 2 kind of veterans there.
Well, if you guys are ready, the Eagles are definitely ready because we've got our next pickup already ready to go. And coming in number 29 overall and the 3rd pick for the Eagles. I believe this is a new player coming in here. We'll have to double check on the player card, but it's going to be Lefty FTG getting picked up here by the Eagles. And yes, I was correct. Their first time coming in to the LAS draft. So welcome on in, Lefty.
Ooh, definitely. Excuse me. Just based on these stats here, Kindred is one of the top play champions for him. Does dabble a little bit in the Viego, Echo, Zinzao, and Warwick. Just like a little dabble, nothing too much there. But can play a lot of different things there. But Kindred is this guy's bread and butter. Definitely looking to kind of look for that scaling play for more of the kind of mid game there. And then look to try to carry his team just purely through the scale. So you don't exactly have like that kind of strong ganking presence there for you don't have that strong ganking presence there for the jungler for Peakley and Killua to kind of use, but you know, you can definitely trust your solo laners there to not end the game away.
I mean, he already has very strong solo laners with Killua and Peakley, so he's definitely won't be afraid to pick the Kindred and speak his mind, saying, I need to get this mark, I need you guys to follow me. Needs to have a good understanding of the lane states and just call for these plays and, like you said, carry them through the late game by scaling.
I mean, we've seen a couple really good Kindred players across the board recently, so it always becomes a little scary when you got a Kindred main running around the map. So definitely something to be looking out for is, are teams willing to ban out that Kindred, and how many weeks does it take until they start banning out that Kindred? So we'll have to see. But coming in next, as you guys know, we're ending round 3, so it's back to the Falcons again. It's been a little while since their last pick, but they get the back-to-back here, so we're going to go through both these picks one at a time. Let's see. As the 3rd pickup coming up for the Falcons, number 30 overall, going to be Red 2005 here. Unfortunately, no player card for this guy, but might be their first time coming in, so welcome, Red 2005.
Played 1 season of League of Legends, but my god, that's a lot of Hecarim games, man. Half of his games have been Hecarim. So definitely expect to see that banned out. You know, probably never going to play it. But otherwise, you know, plays a lot of gank-heavy junglers or junglers that can really get that dive into the backline there. You know, you got the Nocturne, you got the Zinzao, you have the Yi, you got the Rammus, and then You got the more kind of utility picks there with the again the Ram is Skarner, the Kane, and Trundle there. So jungle has a lot of versatility, but early game looks to be a little bit lacking there. So don't expect him to kind of gain too much, but definitely can scale up very, very well, and then try to fight for those mid game objectives.
You definitely see that he can play for his team, just a little different from the jungler previously. He'll want to get his teammates ahead so that they can carry him through the game because he helped them out during the early game, versus the previous where he wanted to play to win it for his team.
Well, my friends, we do have the back-to-back pick here coming in for the Falcons, so let's get ready to go for that next pick. Let's get it showing on stream. It's going to be none other than Andreas417 coming in 31st overall and final pick of the Falcons squad, which means we've got one team finalized, my friends.
I'm trying to find it. I saw it somewhere.
Andreas, he plays a lot of the monkey. He plays a lot of Wukong with a decent win rate and decent KDA as well. 3.48 KDA, 68% win rate in 102 games. That's a third of his games that he's played in Gold 4. Probably got it recently, so he's on the come up. He plays very team fight oriented champions in the top lane, being the Wukong, obviously the Silas, play the Volibear, and that's really all I've seen on his OP.GG so far. I see a Gangplank game, but so far he's not really playing anything to his role specifically right now, but definitely the monkey is something to look out for.
Yeah, definitely not a very high sample size here. As you kind of delve deeper into the rabbit hole there, you see a couple more unconventional picks, like the Olaf here, the Tank Timo, the Tank Mo, as people would like to say.
The what?
Yeah, I got a little bit of a Camille there. Definitely a player again. A lot of kind of surprises up his sleeve there. Wukong is definitely the bread and butter that this guy does bring to the table. So definitely look for those really big teleport flanks and into the Beyblade there.
Well, my friends, if we're ready to keep on going, we've got our next pick ready to go as well too. This is going to be the final pick for the Eagles. So let's see what they've got cooking here as we'll flip on back to the draft table. Coming in number 32 overall, and like I said, last pick for the Eagles to round their team out, gonna be Voodoo Lobster.
Dude, definitely let's see, this is going to be a support, so definitely plays a lot more of those enchanters. Plays some Senna here, plays a little bit of a couple games of Raka here. But looks like the bread and butter here is mostly, it's either Senna, Seraphine, or Morgana. So definitely a lot of utility there. Senna did get buffed a lot in recent patches. So the crit Senna is starting to kind of make a comeback here, since the crit ratios, or her crit damage multiplier did get touched up a little bit. It went up by 10%, so it's 160% now. So it hits just slightly harder. And the soul rate on minion kills went up a little bit, so definitely expect to see a lot more of that. But otherwise, the sample size again is relatively low. Mostly plays a lot of enchanters, heals, shields, such and such. But otherwise, a relatively new player to the League of Legends scene in general, and you love to see what they bring to the table here for this finished Eagles team.
Those are definitely some of the notable champions in his pool, but I wouldn't count out this Mumu. But you see a little bit of it, but the double bandage toss in the bot lane definitely lock down the carry and probably give Dream Unforgiven a bit of an edge in these bot lanes.
Let's see how that is gonna go, as we got a pretty strong Eagle squad coming through here. I'm looking forward to this. As that rounds out our second team here, as we're going to go ahead and see what the final pick of the Grizzlies is next. Coming in 33 overall. I believe this is a big mid laner coming back once again. None other than the Kumi.
Not gonna lie, I expected the Kumi to go a little bit earlier. The Kumi is definitely one of the big names again in the mid lane pool here for the LAS. Very, very solid from what I remember. Silas, and one of the few people that does still play Azir. Azir is, in the right capable hands, can pretty much finish an entire team here, but otherwise, again, you got kind of like the standard pool there in the mid lane. You have a couple of mostly kind of like mages and such, like Ari, Malzahar, such, and Syndra. So definitely a very prolific control mage player there in the mid lane, and very, very solid from what I remember. So rounding out this Grizzlies team here, you have a lot of everybody looks to be pretty like solid, but you kind of have to wait to see until you mix all the ingredients together in the bowl and see what you get in the end.
Yeah, the Kumi was my teammate last split, and he was very consistent and very scale to win play style. His Zir was insane. Silas he really never got, and when he got, it was basically a win. Yes, a lot of the mages down, a lot of somewhat assassins as well. But I do have to say, I don't want this guy on my ARAM team because he's lost 15 in a row.
Oh, well, luckily these players will not be on the Howling Abyss for their games. But that is going to round out our third team, Grizzlies' completed roster. And let's see what the Hammerheads have or who they've selected for their final pick. Coming in number 34 overall, a former Crusader and has been around for a few splits with us at Legends. None other than Softworm.
Softworm, I remember him. A very prolific Nunu player. Recently, this season has been kind of branching out to a couple more different things there to kind of fit in a little bit more with the meta. I see definitely practicing that Talon jungle. Love to see it. Those Talon buffs in the jungle. Gonna do tons of work. Love to see it. I expect to see that sometime in an LAS game. But Softworm is definitely kind of one of those players that plays very, very well for his team and looks to kind of pressure the map very a lot. Pathing is it's pretty hard to kind of catch, so definitely expect to see a lot of weird things in the jungle, and then kind of looking to impact the map through that instead of just the standard of getting kills and then trying to carry the team through there.
He seems like a very aggressive jungler, just likes to be in sort of the face of the enemy jungler and just take over both sides of the jungle with his team whenever they have prio, and then just snowball the game to basically unwinnable for the other side of the team, or other side of the rift.
Definitely a nice pick coming through for the Hammerheads, and that is going to round out their team. So let's see what the final pick is now for the Nocturnals. We're going to head back to the draft sheet here. Coming in number 35 overall. I believe this is a returning player as well too, coming in for their second split. None other than Lone Wolf.
Lone Wolf, based on what these stats say here, plays a lot of pretty much strictly plays control mages, dabbles a little bit in those other picks such as the Diana and Galio and such, but mostly plays a lot of control mages. Got Ziggs, Ari, Malzahar. Been playing a little bit of Zed here this season. Love to see the win rate look pretty high there, 63%. But overall, mostly control mages, likes to get that scaling, looks to set up for their team a little bit more there, but does have the potential to solo carry with this Nocturnal squad finally being finished there. Once again, you have, kind of that rock or that orange, you should say, in the top lane there. You have the lone wolf in the mid lane to kind of set up these big plays. Undo again that other rock in the jungle, very very solid. And then you have the new ADC there compared with the Thresh God there in the bot lane.
Bpots has definitely done well in this draft. He definitely drafted 2 people that are AD oriented, 2 people that are AP oriented, so they're never gonna be so one-sided on damage. So I like that out of Bpots, and Lone Wolf, great addition to that. To add to the AP side, he has the Ari. Ziggs is very strong right now, primarily in the bot lane, but I don't see any of these ADCs playing Ziggs, so that's unfortunate. He has that Xerath, so that's a very impressive pick, and then the Vygar for scaling. It's definitely a tear.
Well, we're ready to go for our next pick here. This one is coming in for the Hounds. Just gonna do a quick. Sorry, not the Hounds. Sorry, it is the Rhinos pick next. My apologies. Can't skip on over people like that. That's not how drafts work. So let me just get the right logos up on screen, and we're gonna go ahead and show you the final member here, coming 36 overall for the Rhinos. And I believe this is it. This is a player returning back to their team once again. Gonna be none other than Kaiser, picked up for the Rhinos.
If I remember, Kaiser was formerly known as Prince Guy there, being in that support role. Let's see, not a lot of sample size here, but from what I can see so far, there are a lot of enchanters being used, and a lot of poke mages such as Lux and Bran. A little couple of engage and peel tanks here in the once you scroll a little bit farther down there, but otherwise, again, they have a lot of variety, but their main source of supporting is enchanters, getting those heals and shields out to the rest of their team, and or just annoying the hell out of the enemy bot lane with Brandon Lux. So rounding out the rest of this Rhinos team there, you do have Invader. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. It's Invader L and Kaiser in the bot lane there. You got Oath in the jungle. You got Cheese is in the jungle. Oath is going top, and Ezio Killer going mid. So overall, I'd probably say definitely a lot of new people in different roles there, except for Ezio and Kaiser. So this team is gonna be a bit of a enigma going into the LAS draft.
I definitely agree, and picking up Kaiser for Invader L works really well because he just, like I said previously, Invader just wants to scale and carry his team to win, and Kaiser with these enchanters helps that out by helping his ADC survive this laning phase and getting to that scaling.
Well, we got a couple more picks left to go. 4 more teams, 4 final picks here to round out these rosters. And coming in number 37, a name that's been around here, Legends, for quite some time. You also got to see him earlier tonight as your streamer host analyst. Coming in for the Hounds, final pickup, a nice strong player indeed. Gonna be none other than Wolven Alchemist.
Yeah, Wolven definitely, when I first saw him, you didn't really assume too much about him, just a quintessential ADC player, but a couple splits ago, definitely if I remember, was the most improved, or in my opinion, the most improved player of the split, compared to, the split that I played with him, and then the next split, definitely a lot of improvement. You can tell that he put in a lot of work there to, kind of get better, with just kind of basic ADC micro macro, such as positioning and wave management and such. So definitely Wolven going to be paired up with on that Hound squad with excels in that bot lane there. So definitely expect to see this bot lane possibly come out as one of the top ones in the season here. But overall, this team is looking pretty solid so far.
I can definitely agree with you that Wolven has improved so much in the past splits, and being paired up with XLs, it's just a strong duo already. without any synergies that were possibly made. I don't know if they've worked together in the past, but to just be able to work with Excel's a very strong support. They can definitely just take over this bot lane in LAS.
Looking forward to seeing the strength of that bot lane for the Hounds, but that rounds out our 6th team, which means we've got 3 final picks, guys. 3 final players coming through here. Let's see where they're going. Number 38 and the final pick for the Scorpions, gonna be none other than Must Be Chewy.
Must Be Chewy. Is that a new name? I don't know.
That is a new name. First split in Legends, and we're gonna pull up their player card right now. Let's check it out.
So let's see. Must Be Chewy. Mid lane. Silver 4. This is going to be 3 splits in League of Legends here. Not too many mid lane games. Most played is MF. That's a wide. Those are pretty good MF stats there. So definitely had a lot of promise to go into the ADC role. I'd assume mid was the secondary. Looking at this mid lane pool here, yeah, I'd assume it was a secondary because, not a lot of sample size here for the mid lane, but it looks like overall, just kind of at face value, you have a lot of Anivia and Vigar. So, again, very simple control mages, play for that scale, try to transition it to the mid game, try to get your first item at least to kind of supplement your mana costs, and then get a little bit more damage under your belt there to kind of put out a little bit more control in those team fights there. But otherwise, looking to round out this Sharks team there. Let's see, you got Napquan in that top lane, you got that kind of big utility bruiser beast there in that top lane, you got Beanie in the bot lane, if I recall.
Yes.
Or no, wait. Am I looking at the wrong one?
Bot lane with Ultra. Oh.
Wait, I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm stupid. Okay. I was looking at the wrong one. So what? You got Toby in the bot lane there with formerly Master Uguay. You got Pavil in that top lane there, Night Train in the jungle, and Must Be Chewy in the mid lane. So overall, again, this team again looking pretty solid on paper, but you have to wait until you kind of see them on the Rift together. Try to get a couple practice games and see what they do. But otherwise, it looks like this team is probably going to be kind of bot side focused, but we'll have to see once they kind of get a little bit of a tentative game plan together and get to meet each other.
Absolutely, and with that, only 2 remain. 1 for the Sharks, and then followed by the Panthers. But let's see, number 39 coming in here, gonna be none other than, I believe you say it's Keen. We're going to go with Keen. Being picked up here for the Sharks, and I do believe this is their first split with us here at Legends.
Let's see, looking at Keen here, been playing since Season 4, tons of experience. Looks like they average around mid-silver. Level only 152, so, does take a break there every now and then. Don't want to fry your brain on League of Legends solely. So looks like Keen is going to be the jungler here to round out this Sharks roster here. Overall, nothing kind of sticks out too hard. Not too many big names outside of Beanie that kind of stick out to me really. But otherwise, it looks like this Keen does play for the team. It looks like, kind of having those gank-oriented junglers, lots of CC, very beefy there. Got the Udyr, Volibear, Poppy, Sejuani, and the Gragas. So definitely expect to see a lot of utility for this guy trying to play around his team here. Definitely expect to see Beanie and Outro getting a lot of resources. Beanie getting a lot of resources here to try to bring his team to the motherland.
I agree. They definitely have a very solid frontline / setup in their in Outro and Keen, and then they have a flexibility pick for Napquan. He can play Bruiser, he can play tank, he can do whatever he wants, and then you have 2 true carries, which would be Beanie and Galifianakis, mid and ADC. So this is probably a more straightforward team, but definitely solid nonetheless.
Absolutely. Well, that rounds out the Sharks roster, and there can only be one. The last one remaining here, 40th overall. And I gotta say, they saved the best for last. It's another player you saw tonight. And actually, both this player and their captain casted together tonight. Coming in to round out the Panthers, coming back again for... I have lost count of how many splits this player has been here for since day one. None other than the legendary Overcomer going to the Panthers as their ADC.
Overcomer. Where have I seen that name before? I've heard the name.
I don't know. How about summer 21 split? How about winter 21 split? How about all of fall 2020 and 2019? Overcomer's been around for a while.
I forgot. Isn't this Daydream?
No.
No, it's not Daydream.
Overcomer has been around since the very first beginning split.
Okay,
when it was just the Falcons, Wolves, and Spartans. This is an OG Legends veteran. Actually related to one of our owners here too. I'll let you guess which one that is, but a few of you do know out there. He's been around for a while. Great mental attitude with this player, and always just meshes well with his teammates. So I love seeing Overcomer coming in for the Panthers here, and we can actually see now all the teams that have been rounded out. He's going to be with Shogun, Zolo Bomber, Solid State Frankie, Cheese Swiss. That's looking like a strong team there, guys.
Yeah, this team looks to be pretty much kind of a... Just like on paper, it looks like this team looks to kind of play for that scale there. But otherwise, everybody has a little bit of a potential to kind of look for something. But this team is looking to be very team fight oriented overall there.
Literally took the words right out of my mouth.
And it's funny, I actually got a message from Overcomer asking to change his quote, but it's just on brand right now. This is just perfect. Lines up. But that is going to round out our entire draft, guys. That's it. We're done. We got all the picks ready, so why don't we go ahead and take one final look at this draft table. Banana, Melly, thoughts on what we're seeing here for these rosters, for these picks? Go. Banana, start us off.
Ooh, man. If I had to pick who probably won the draft, I'd probably say the Hounds. Because the Hounds overall, they have a really good comp. Like, you have a lot of big experience there with XLs in that bot lane. You have Wolven on the better half there of the ADC list. Definitely a big improvement from before. You got High Reef, that rock in the mid lane there with a lot of those mage picks. You got the new guy, Plastic Bag, in the top lane there that can have a lot of potential there. And let's see if I remember. No, Plastic Bag is top. So you got, again, you have that kind of big rock there in the top lane. Probably going to be weak side most likely, but definitely can make something for themselves. But I definitely give a little bit of an edge to Hounds overall on paper for now.
Melly, what about yourself? Thoughts on this draft?
I'd have to give this draft to big man Killua. I think his draft is solid. Obviously, with Big P in there, you got legendary Dream Unforgiven with Voodoo Lobster, and then Lefty FTG. Like I said, Lefty kind of makes this team work because of the two strong solo laners and a very consistent bot lane. He's just that last puzzle piece, even though he wasn't the last pick, but he is that finishing puzzle piece that makes this team work to be able to rely on his solo laners to be able to take over this jungle in LAS, and that's what I really like about Killua's draft.
Oh, what a fun night indeed. But that does finish off all our picks, guys. So we're going to pop on back to the analyst desk just to round things out and say goodnight to everybody. But yeah, there's our picks. There's our rosters. LAS draft starting this Monday, September 13th at 7 p.m. EST right here. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit that follow button. We had a bunch of you guys coming in new today, and I just saw that follower number just skyrocket. But make sure to tune in those nights. You're going to be joined by none other than the folks you see right beside me here. Banana Bread as your play-by-play caster and Melly as your color. You can see their handles there. If you want to go check out their Twitters, they're right below on the screens. But guys, thank you so much for joining me on what is an absolutely legendary night that we have each split. I had a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing what these teams have to offer throughout the split, what kind of action we're going to get, and more importantly, what kind of banter is going to be coming through, because I love the memes that some of these guys are making out here. They are quality stuff. But final thoughts before we end the stream for the night, guys.
Definitely Falcons are going to be a dark horse. Once again, they are a team of, I'm pretty sure all 5 of them are rookies, if I remember. So they are going to be a bit of a dark horse here. And of course, LAS draft is notorious for having the most banter. So once again, I'm going to be scouring through that. I'm going to look to make a couple of memes here and there. So be ready for that. For that kind of flashing around there.
It's gonna be a lot of banter and a lot of mint wins, if I had to say so myself.
I even though Mint's not even in this draft, we're still gonna see some Mint wins coming through. Anyways, that is gonna
Mint Eagles.
Yeah,
Yep,
there are
the
honestly.
Eagles.
You look at that team for the Eagles. You got Mint Piquet and Killua, who's also a Mint player. We played together as well too. But I'm loving some of these teams. I'm looking forward to seeing what all our returning players and new players have to bring to us this split. So best of luck to all our LAS players this split. Remember, game's starting this Monday, and they will be on stream right here, 7 p.m. EST. You know where to find us. But that will do it for us tonight. So thank you again to all the gift subs, the hype train coming through, and all our new followers. We appreciate you so much here at Legends. And hitting that follow button really does support us in our growth as an amateur esports league. And, well, I got no other points, guys. So I'll do my sign off. Take care, everybody. Hope you're all staying safe and healthy. We'll see you next time here on Legends. We do have a stream planned for tomorrow at 3 p.m. EST, one of our Valorant leagues, LAS Valorant to be specific. So we'll see you then. Until next time, have a great evening. Stay safe and healthy. Bye, guys. We love you so much. Take care and good night.
Bye.